No. I still need to get back there and take out the graphics card and see if those other ports are better. But as you could imagine, I don't want to do that. Uh,
Freaking Manny had early Thanksgiving on Saturday. You heard about that shit?
wait, what happened?
He had
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
Early
Turns out he had a
Thanksgiving.
big shindig. Family from all over
Oh
came down.
yeah,
He
yeah,
did a
yeah, yeah.
small celebration.
He told me about that.
Nobody told me this shit, and this happened at my mother's house. I called her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we did that."
Are we live, man? What the fuck? Oh yeah, so they
I'm
didn't
like,
invite you to their own crib, man. What the
What?
fuck?
What happens when you move away? You move away, they forget
damn, out of
about you.
sight, out of mind, man. What happened?
Exactly,
Damn,
exactly.
Adam, it said fuck your couch,
He
man.
said, "I'll remember that next
Yo.
time you ask for pictures of the kids." I'm like, "Kids? What kids? What are you talking
Oh
about?
shit.
Wait, you don't have any grandkids."
That's
Damn, that's
crazy.
cold as
Would you
ice.
have gone there though?
It wasn't about at least just do a Skype or something. Everybody's there together, and then we could all, talk and stuff.
Yeah,
All
a
the
call,
uncles are
something.
there,
Yeah,
and cousins, and
that's crazy, man.
yeah, one of
Yeah.
them, one of our cousins ran in the marathon.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was on Saturday.
Yep, he finished it. So
Oh, how long did he take?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying because I had to go based off of pictures that eventually my mom was like, "Oh yeah, here's some pictures," and I just saw at the finish
Damn,
line,
yo.
and everybody hugging him and stuff. So I'm like, "All right, well he did it."
By the way, Tony, what happened? Anything we need to know that happened this week before we go in?
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you a rundown. We're live, by the way. What's going on, people? Episode
Oh
209.
shit,
You already
Oh
know.
shit! They saw the sausages, Meg. Close it down.
that's
Yeah,
it.
right.
Deep in
Hey, listen,
secret.
I don't have dual monitors, so whatever. Manny's not here. I don't know what the hell's going on with him. Yeah, you know what? Let me do a proper intro. What's going on, people? Welcome to Throw It Down, episode 209. I'm your host, Tony Polanco. I'm joined by Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Brian Manjoma,
Yo, yo, yo.
Brett Murdoch,
What's up, everybody?
and Adam Vale.
Yo, it's like 3 months. When
Yeah.
is Carlos
Uh,
coming back?
I don't know. So what happened, Brett? What was the question you were asking me about now?
I was just asking what big happened in the news.
Oh
this
yeah,
week.
yeah. So yeah, tonight we're gonna talk about Red Dead Redemption chip sales or whatever. Red Dead Online, Nintendo Switch, YouTube app, PS Now, the top subscription service. Um, they're still making final. They were making Final Fantasy DLC until the director left. And then some controversial things here. The offensive Red Dead Redemption 2 feminist videos and the racist, quote unquote, racist character removed from Super Smash Brothers. So we got a lot of shit to cover. There was something I was supposed to put in the pre-show thing. Something I
Did
wanted
you
to
hear
talk.
anything about Diablo?
What about Diablo? We have a question about the immortal thing. We talked about that on Sunday.
But what's happening now that everybody, well, the media outlets online were upset about the fans being disrespectful and saying, "Oh well, why are they?" Remember about the guy who came out and he made that little
Yeah,
comment
yeah,
like it
yeah.
was
We
a
talked
joke and
about
stuff.
all that.
I just don't. But my issue, and this is the
Actually, you
shit's
know what,
real.
Adam? Go ahead. Since you're an actual Diablo fan, what's your take on all
Yeah,
that?
shit, I got this shit tattooed across my stomach. So yeah,
Are you crazy?
it's true.
Yeah.
You know,
He's sealed in blood.
damn right. I brought the box and I was like, "Yo, do this," and he's like, "Okay." It had the flame letters and everything. He did it. No, my issue is that you always hear about these outlets saying, "Oh well, the internet's full of trolls," and they would never say those things to the person's face. Well, they did this time, and
Yeah.
now these outlets are and now these outlets are upset about that. That's disrespectful. Why did they do that? It's BlizzCon. They were like, people, they were again saying, "Oh well, that's not the time and the place." That is the time and place.
What is the
Yeah,
time and the place
absolutely.
then?
That is the hardest of the hardest. These people actually pay to go to this event. If you want to watch it streaming, you have to pay to watch it streaming. That's why they gave a mic to the crowd because they want to interact. This is their audience. This isn't like a general, hey, gaming convention. You may like some other type of games. Blah, blah, blah. This is supposed to be the people that they cater to. And here it is.
Oh,
Usually it's a PC crowd. That I see. It's always a PC crowd. And when you announce that you're making a mobile game that you're technically not really making because it's a third party that's making it, and that's your big announcement, of course people are going to get pissed, and they have that right to be vocal about it. And the worst is when I'm hearing some of these media outlets is like, and the further disrespect with the boos. Oh, so you're only allowed to cheer? You know what?
oh,
That shit doesn't apply in sports. In sports, I'm allowed to go and boo and cheer any fucking person I want on that field. Why? Because I paid to get in there. It's an open event. And then if the also and I remember I looked this shit up. If it's a speaker or anyone at a press and they start reaching out to try to interact with the crowd, then you have just opened that door for the interaction. So if you say, hey, you guys like this, and even if you know how they try to guide people by clapping when they
Yeah.
make a statement, okay, you just interacted with the crowd. You were trying to get them now to clap. Well, now they can either clap or they can say fuck you, because now they're being vocal. You want that reaction from them. Well, you're getting one. It's just not what you wanted. And it's bullshit to hear all these outlets say that it's disrespectful of that guy to come on, and it's disrespectful of the people there to boo at these developers. Why? These are the people that are spending money to buy certain things, and it's like they don't want to buy it. So if anything, the developers, yeah, they're kind of pissed, but they should be like, let me tell the marketing guys, this might not fly. You know what? Thanks, guys. Thanks for being vocal about this.
So are there people actually then, if we turn it on its head, advocating that paying consumers don't have the right to be vocally disappointed in the product that they've purchased?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
And
So
it's
like in the
bullshit.
name of liberty, we've gone like full crackdown censorship on people then.
Oh, the worst, and I don't even want to give this person any credit. It's a big name person online and other websites, and was like, it's disrespectful for them to give thumbs down to this video on YouTube for the Diablo Immortal.
Wow.
They're like, if you don't like it, just don't view it. Why do you have to ruin it for other people? I'm like, the whole point of the positive and negative is to show people that you're interested. It's to spread it. I mean, that's how YouTube pushes it. It's like, hey, put a like, you like it, then other people get to see it because more people like it, and we want to show them things that people like with the same interests. Well, those people with the same interests hate this fucking shit, and they want to spread the hate to tell you, hey, this sucks.
Adam,
But see-
you're being unreasonable here, though. Like if we are paying for these products with respect, then you're right. We do owe it to them, and we have to thumbs up. Or we can't thumbs up the video, and I mean that's how we buy video games, right? Oh no, wait, we still use money. I'm sorry, I just checked reality. No, we still use money, so fuck you. I can say whatever I want.
Oh man.
You have to. The only time where you have to show respect is when somebody gives you a gift. That's proper decorum, fuckhead.
It's all bullshit. And it's also more bullshit when they were like, oh, later on. Well, some insiders said that they had Diablo 4 information and they pulled it from bullshit. Bullshit. You're saying that out now to just clean up to make it seem like you got it. No.
Yeah. They only did that too after the stock dropped.
Yeah.
The stock dropped like 5 or 6%, and then they were like, oh, and then they came up with this leak.
Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, that whole thing was a mess, And then,
what?
yeah, good. And then the way they try to act like they're the victims, like, really,
Please.
Get out of here with that nonsense. But
this was your audience. This was your damn convention.
Yeah.
These are your people. If there's anyone you listen to, you listen to these people.
yeah, and by the way,
You don't listen.
one of the producers of Diablo 2 even came out. He's like, yeah, the way they handled that was wrong. They didn't listen to the fans.
He came out. He said they don't know their audience anymore. And they don't, because that's the thing. All right, so the team that was behind Diablo 3 that came out, a lot of those guys already left. Because then Activision came in, as you know, and they have their own reworks and things they want to do. So a lot of the ideas that they had for Diablo 4, that got scrapped. So that's why they didn't want to really announce anything before, because it's like in a limbo state. They had an early version that they're working on. That's not done. Then, of course, that other game came out, Path of Exile, which is just it's like a better version of what Diablo should be, at least an updated version, new features and stuff. And that's where everyone's like, well, they're probably going to clone that, and that's probably what they're doing now. So if anybody, that's free to play on PC, and that's coming to PlayStation, I think, in a few weeks.
See, I knew I was forgetting something. Forgot to invite Riku's son. Give me a second here.
Oh.
Yeah, he wanted to be on. You guys, again, I don't have my dual monitor, so you're gonna see the sausage being made and all that other stuff. What am I doing? Yeah, go ahead, Vamp.
Can I just point out how bad a presentation you have to make to get booed on stage from an audience exclusively made of your fans at a convention made to hype and out of fan appreciation for your company that paid money to get in there? Like, it's a convention that people want. It's a whole convention just for you that people want to be at so bad they paid money and then stood in line to get into this audience. It is the most hardcore of the hardcore people in your audience, and they still booed your ass.
Yep.
Those are the people that you should be able to fart in a jar and have them like wildly applaud.
Mm-hmm. We're putting this shit on the damn blender so you can play while you're. All right, I can't wait. We're putting it in the new Amazon microwave. Oh my god, I can't wait.
Well, that's what they were expecting. They were just expecting these guys to just be.
Yeah, after the especially after the boot, you're like, what? Don't you guys have phones? It's also going to be playable on tablet. It's like, yeah, but no one. This crowd doesn't like that experience. You can't get an engaging experience on phones.
Yeah,
I have a smartphone. I don't play my games on my smartphone.
yeah. Well, that's a stupid logical fallacy, and it's completely ridiculous, insulting everybody's intelligence. It's like, yes, motherfucker, we also have bookshelves, but I don't want to read the next Diablo novel. I want to play the game.
There you go. Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into it, man. Actually, no. You know what? If you want to keep talking, because I want to wait for Riku to get here so he could talk a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Like I ultimately don't care because I don't give a fuck about Diablo. But it's very interesting. I was like, how do you misjudge your fans so badly? You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I mean, 3 honestly went too far off formula. Like, I love Diablo. 3 is my least favorite, and the fact they're just drifting further. Like, after a thing like this, I don't even believe that they understand their core product, much less their audience. So it's at the best we're going to get what them recycling what they think the high points of Diablo 3 were, and they're going to completely misinterpret that shit.
Yeah, like even if they didn't announce 4, okay, then announce Diablo 2 remaster or something like that, or Diablo 1 remaster. You know, do something like that. Not a damn phone app.
Yeah, like I said, they could have stopped a lot of this by literally just having a logo of Diablo 4 at the end. People would have been happy, you know. I'm telling you, man.
He could have just saved him. He could have just screamed it out, even if it was bullshit. If he really did know, listen, we are working. We have no release date. People booing. Oh wait, you guys wanted Diablo 4 news? Yeah, they would have went nuts.
Yeah,
like, we're working on it.
That's it.
We don't have a date, but just so you know, we are working on it. It's not like a blueprint somewhere. No, there's hands on this shit, and then people would have went home happy.
Yeah.
Even easier. Don't leave. Like the last thing is generally considered to be the biggest announcement, the keynote of your presentation. Don't leave such a low-balling pitch for the very last thing. You start off with the fucking mobile game. You start off with the shit that you're sure people don't want to hear. Don't hype them up just to disappoint them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They didn't realize that. They thought they were going to get hyped over the mobile phone game. That's their miscalculation, because any sane person would have, like you said, either thrown it at the beginning or thrown it right in the middle so people could forget the fuck about it, you know? But they just read their audiences wrong. Anyway, Riku, what's going on, brother?
Check, mic check. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, man. What's up? My bad for forgetting you. I was like, I know I'm forgetting something tonight.
Jesus Christ, Tony. How many times have you done this?
Yeah, too many times, man. Too many times. Yeah, anyway, what's good, brother?
Man, I'm out here in these streets, getting these games done. Just wanted to see what was up with the Throwdown fam, you know. Slide through on the episode.
Yeah, yo, Rico, I'm going to put you on the spot right now, man.
Yo.
You know I'm that kind of dude.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
And I want you to keep it. I want you to keep it 1,000% real.
Yeah.
Unless it's something personal, obviously. Why did you? Because I have my theory. Why did you stop playing Kingdom Hearts, streaming it? I have my theory. I want to know if I'm correct.
As far as Kingdom Hearts 2, I feel that it's not enjoyable enough for me to stream every single session. For me to do, in comparison to Final Fantasy VII, I felt for Final Fantasy VII it was, for some reason, it's just the enjoyment wasn't there. And as far as streaming, I think I'll probably just get through it a lot quicker and enjoy it a lot more if I just played it on my own time. I probably will when I do fight Sephiroth, because apparently that's what people, on the stream always, when they hopped in the stream, I can't wait for him to get to Sephiroth, or I can't wait for him to get to here. I think when I get to those certain points, I will record my fights when I do those things. And if you do want me to upload those, you can do it, chop it up, do whatever. As far as the, my first time fighting those pivotal fights. But as far as streaming the entire thing, I don't know about that. I don't want to do that anymore. And
Yeah.
as far as future games like Final Fantasy 9 or whatnot, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, my theory was that you didn't like the game that much, and that's exactly what happened.
In a nutshell, you could say that.
Yeah.
You could wrap
Because
it up.
I noticed like when I was and you liked Final Fantasy VII, but I noticed you complained a lot. I'm like, I don't think Riku likes some of these older mechanics, So, and I know Kingdom Hearts has a lot of those weirdo mechanics that may not have aged very well, So,
Yeah, so that was. Remember, I told you that was the thing when it comes to going back in time and playing these classic games. If there's any genre, I feel that from a gameplay standpoint, probably aged the best. It's turn-based RPGs because all you're doing is running through menus and pressing it and watching it play out. As far as 3D platformers or shooters or anything like that, their gameplay and mechanics, probably are, at this point in time, refined. But back then, they were still going through their growing pains, and I feel Kingdom Hearts is one of those things. So when you did hear me complain about the things that were in Kingdom Hearts, sadly, honestly, a lot of those things still haven't been changed because you know about Square-Enix.
Yeah.
They're one of those Japanese traditional companies. Once they find something that works for them, then they're going to continue to do it. And my biggest complaint about their Kingdom Hearts gameplay was the whole command system, and I'm not going to talk about that right now. Go down that rabbit hole. But the point is, I didn't find that in turn-based RPG games. So when I was doing it in Final Fantasy VII, honestly, all of that was just nitpicking, and that was more from a passion standpoint, when this was more of a I just can't get behind this.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the reason I can't mess with like Atari games. It's like I can't do it. Like I could go back and play Nintendo games. I grew up on that. I grew up on Super Nintendo. I grew up on all this shit. Like even if the mechanics are not like what I would like them to be, it still reminds me of the olden days. But like shit like Atari, I'm like, nah, I can't hang because I didn't grow up with that. So I don't have a tolerance for it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's you may be experiencing something similar.
I grew up with that, and I still don't want to play that.
It's hard to go back.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. As far as growing up with it, I definitely think only talking about Kingdom Hearts right now from their gameplay standpoint. I personally feel that's something that if you were there during the time it came out and you played it, I said this on stream too. You probably don't have a issue with the command system or how it's set up or how it plays. But for someone like me who is hopping in there at this point in time and seeing how it is and how it could have been done to make it a more convenient way to play the game, I just see it as a flawed way. And I know Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to play the exact same way. So it's just that kind of killed a bit of the hype for the entire franchise for me once that clicked in my head, like, oh shit. So yeah, I was just like, my enjoyment as far as getting on stream and playing it, you could tell the passion wasn't there as far as it was for Final Fantasy VII.
Interesting. All right, man. I just wanted you to tell people, yourself, and because me and May were like, he probably doesn't like those old ass mechanics. But yep, that's exactly what happened. But it's better to hear it from you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck command system.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on here. So first thing we're gonna talk. What was
just
up?
linked with that with old mechanics because I know you were talking about Resident Evil and all that.
Oh yeah, I can't play those, man. The old ones, like the
now, are they updating those controls for Resident Evil 2 and stuff, or is it still the same?
Resident Evil 2 is a complete remake. It plays like Resident Evil 4. It's
not gonna have the tank controls of like turning.
No, it's a complete remake, like 100% remake. There's nothing of the original code in there. It's complete 100% remake.
Tony, did you ever mind, or to this day, let's say if let's say a traditional Resident Evil came out today, it's third person and everything, and it still does the traditional mechanics of a Resident Evil game where you have to stand still to shoot. Are you still fine with that?
Oh yeah, I am, because I can still play Resident Evil 4 no problem. Like to me, to this day, Resident Evil 4 is still one of the best third person shooters out there, and you can't even move and shoot. Because I'm like, go ahead, Chris.
5, I think was it 6 that did it first?
6 is the one that did it first. 5 you couldn't move either. I remember people
Yeah.
complaining about that. But the thing is, in general, when I'm playing
One
a
in Africa, right?
yeah. Yeah. Because
Yeah, with the
in general, though, when I'm playing a third person shooter, when I actually shoot, I don't move. I stop, so I could actually shoot. You know?
Really?
Yeah, that's why.
Ah,
That's why I prefer cover based shooters because I stay
That's
in my
weird.
one spot and start shooting. You know?
So you're trying to tell me when you play games like Dead Space and you shot, you were standing still for the most part.
Yes.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
I would if the necromorph is running towards me or something, I would be strafing and shooting or moving backwards and shooting or just making sure, instead of using my right analog to, do all of the aiming, I'll be also using the left analog to move the character along with the ridicule to get a more precise shot while I'm shooting.
Yeah. See,
Maybe
the
that's
thing is,
just
I can't get a precise shot when I'm moving, so I have to stop. You know?
I
Like,
use both of it to help me get that precise shot.
yeah, like what I would do is like get a good distance away, shoot them, run, stop shooting, run around, get another good distance and shoot them. That's how I play every single third person shooting game.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's
like
some
games
there's some
like that.
exceptions though, like something like Just Cause. You can't do that. You can't. You have to
when we played
constantly.
Division, I don't remember. What did you run with us?
No, hell no. I stay behind covers. There's cover based shooter. I found a spot and just stayed there until I killed everybody. And then if somebody was coming on my position, I would move to another cover point. That's why I play every single third person shooting. That's why I don't like third person shooting games that don't have cover. It's like, the fuck is this?
Interesting.
But yeah, no, that's how I still play like that. Like, I don't. The only games I move and shoot are in first person shooting games because you have no choice but to do that. Understand? Yeah. You have to because there's no cover in first-person shooting games.
I mean, in Killzone too.
Rainbow Six had it. Oh, it had it awesome because it was first person, but when you went into cover, it would go into third person.
Yeah, Deus Ex did
Killzone,
that.
I think Killzone 2
I
did it
love
the best.
Vegas.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
like Killzone
more of
too.
those games need cover systems, man. Anyway,
Did-
go ahead.
yeah.
No, I was just saying, I just want to get
Just
fucking
say this
started.
last question. Did Killzone? Did any other game do it like the way Killzone 2's cover system
I
did
don't
it?
even remember that. But again, I only played the demo, so I wouldn't know. I didn't even know that game even had a cover system.
It
Not a
was you.
slight-
You were in first person, and when you got in cover, you stayed in first person.
How does that work? How do you see?
You don't.
Oh, you don't. So how do you?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, so the angle,
It
so
was.
you,
It was.
you
It
don't
was
see.
basically like in real life. If you get behind cover and you're hiding behind cover, you can't see. Until you poke your head up and shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And it was real cool. They actually did it really well.
I think Brother in Arms did something like that because I remember it was one game that I was playing where I didn't see anything. I had to like look around. I'm like, what's the point of this shit then? If I'm
It
leaving,
worked. It worked exactly like Uncharted, where you had to snap in and snap out. But like I said, you just couldn't see. Which I mean, technically that's realistic. You can't see if you're in cover because you're taking cover. But yeah, I just want to know. That's all.
Yeah. No, but I have no problems with that. Again, if I'm gonna shoot, I need to completely stop so I can actually shoot. That's why I like cover based games more.
That's interesting, Tony. Because like I've always been like you have to move and shoot, or else you're just dead.
Yeah, see, that was me too.
Yeah, but the thing is, because that's how older games were. So I still play like that. Older games you couldn't move and really shoot.
Well, older survival horror games, like older first-person shooters like Wolfenstein and Doom, you have to move.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, but again, see that. That's why I don't have with first-person games. I always move because Doom was like that.
So let's say if you're running down a street and you first you had covered, you were shooting, you killed an enemy, you go running down the street, and now you're getting shot at again. Somebody else is behind you. You wouldn't like turn around and just start spraying to get rid of them. You'll just keep running until you find cover.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, before I even move, I look around like, okay, what are the other cover points? I never move unless I know where I'm going to take cover in next. Understand?
All right.
Like, why would I expose myself like that? You know what
You're
I'm
trying
saying?
you're trying to get away. Like I'm just like, for example, in the division when we play. That's why I said the street because there's a lot of areas. It's long streets. The next cover will be like the next street corner, so you have to run down or get behind a car or something. But you'll clear an area, you'll think it's done, and then some other group starts shooting at you. Usually, I'll just turn around and just take out whoever it is that's shooting at me instead of running to hopefully find a cover.
Oh yeah. If that
and
happens,
stop
then I
and
just
look.
like I said, I stop and I shoot. Because you're right. Sometimes there is no cover, but yeah, I always stop and shoot. I don't like moving around in third person and shooting. It feels weird. But that's just me. Hey, what's going on, people in the chat? All right, let's move on here, man. I'll get to these fucking stories. So the first one here is Red Dead Redemption. Why does it say Red Dead Redemption? It should say 2. Come on, Verge. Red Dead Redemption 2 ships.
Shit, now I've noticed a lot of outlets just call it Red Dead 2.
Yeah, no, this article, I'm going to read the headline exactly. Red Dead Redemption ships massive 17 million copies in the first 8 days. Okay, where's the 2 in there? Come on, guys.
Lost in history now, this article.
Yeah, so this thing already shipped more than the last game sold in its entire lifetime, which is fucking crazy, So,
Well,
but to be honest, was it really a surprise? After GTA 5, people are hyped.
And remember, the Red Dead Revolver gave a bad taste in people's mouths. So when Redemption came, they're like,
Nobody even knew about that game, dude. Let's just be honest.
When they did come out, because there were 2 cowboy games. It was that one, and then was Gun. Gun was the better one. So when the second one came out, I was like, is it going to be more of the same?
No, but that's the thing, though. Most people didn't even know Red Dead Revolver existed.
I don't know. I know people that got Red Dead Redemption. They had Revolver.
No,
Gun.
You and Manny are the only guys I know that played that game. Everybody else I know that played Redemption, to them, that is the first game in the series. And that's most people,
It's crazy talk. How?
I mean, I knew it existed, but I didn't play it.
You can get that on PS4.
Yeah, now you can, but you couldn't do it back then. Like I'm saying, when that game came out, that game was not that popular. And like when Red Dead Redemption came out, nobody knew about that game. But anyway, this story is one of those like, duh, of course it's going to sell that much. And when the online comes, it's going to sell even crazier.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about it. But so,
do you have the online NPDs? Because I heard something disturbing.
What do you mean? NPDs are all mixed together now, man.
All right. About the one that Sony releases of their digital downloads, the highest downloads.
I don't know if the latest one of those you're talking about.
I'm gonna find.
Yeah. Why? What's going on?
I saw that they were saying that that Call of Duty beat out Red Dead Redemption 2. And I don't see that happening, only because Sony came out and said that they had the highest ever pre-downloads for any game was with Red Dead Redemption 2. So if you're going with what they said, then it technically should be number 1. But according to some of these outlets, they're saying that no, Call of Duty was number 1.
Yeah, but remember, we're not going to get NPDs for October until this month,
Yeah,
so we got to wait on that. Oh, that's what I wanted to say, but I'll save that for later. Any thoughts on this? Again, no surprise here,
No.
I'm not surprised. Like, it's doing so freaking well. It's unbelievable. The only one who can outdo Rockstar at this point, seemingly, is Rockstar.
It's Rockstar, exactly. Yeah, this is why the company's called Rockstar. They just produce bangers, man.
Shit, and even with fucking game-breaking bugs, like the issue that I'm having with missing characters, and I'm still playing and I'm still riding it out. I'm like, they're gonna fix this. I know they're working on it. They're gonna. Oh, Jack is there. Oh, wait a minute. He walked into the tree and disappeared. All right, he'll come back. I know he will.
Hey, I had weird shit too. I've had guns disappear on me.
Oh shit!
I've had guns that I have not in my inventory, not on my horse, just gone.
See, that happened to me, and I get nervous because when you go to pick up a weapon, it's like, oh, you want to swap. Well, technically, no, I don't want to swap. Can't I just take this other gun? But then it does do that. So if you drop your gun and then you go back to your horse, you'll see that you still have the gun that you dropped.
Right.
You notice that?
Oh
But
my
they
god,
say that.
I got hit by a bug and thought I had just fucked up this whole time. I was like, I just had to buy another carbine repeater, man.
I have. I like to use a double action revolver, and in one mission, I robbed a bank, and the gun was just gone out of my inventory. And I just had my sawed off, and I keep the double action in my offhand. It was just gone, but not on my horse. Just got. So I had to go to the gunsmith later and buy it again. It just disappeared.
So I gotta ask now.
Yes.
A while ago, we got asked if Rockstar gets a pass. In the context of talking about there's a bunch of game-breaking bugs, but I still love the game. Like, is Rockstar getting a bit of a pass?
It's just not widespread. That's the issue. It's like out of everybody here, I think I'm the only one that has that character
Yeah,
issue.
I haven't had anything like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only one glitch I had is when the two characters merge. Other than that, I haven't had any game breaking nothing. I beat the game. I haven't had any of those issues at
Yeah.
all. You know,
Okay.
everything was smooth as butter.
So I
So
mean,
I
I
think
think
that's what
that's
it
the
is,
only
Brett.
thing.
It's not widespread
Not every,
enough. You
not
know,
widespread. Yeah. Yeah.
it's interesting, man. Anyway, so yeah, the only other game that did better than this is GTA 5. You know, no surprise there.
For
Um,
now.
Yeah. By the way, check this out. Phantom Vash, what's going on, brother? He goes, Adams. Call of Duty was out longer than Red Dead on PSN in October. That's why. All right, there you go. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, no, I knew that much, but it's just the way when Sony said that, oh well, we had the highest counts ever. I was just assuming that they had so many of these installs and pre-orders that's why it was going to rank higher. That's what I was getting at, because we don't know. They didn't actually say the numbers. They just said this is the highest they've ever had for any game on the network.
Yeah. So we're gonna get those
So
numbers later on for sure. You know. But yeah, no surprise there. Red Dead Redemption murdering everybody. By the way, this is the part I wanted to say up top. I completely forgot. Chris, can you address the whole? Because people are asking us for quarterly reports and financials. Can you explain to them why they need to be more patient?
Okay, yeah. So the quarter two 2019 financials came out from Take Two. That does not have Red Dead in it because that quarter ended um in June, right? So I'm sorry, it ended in September. September 30th, that quarter ended, and Red Dead Redemption 2 was released October 26th. It's going to be in the Q3 2019 report, which that quarter ends December 31st of this year. So I could read you the Q2 numbers, but it has no Red Dead in it. It'll be all GTA 5 and talking about there are other things from 2K. It's not going to talk about anything with Red Dead, and it had projections in it, but those projections are completely blown away by what it actually sold. So when I get that report, which they're going to release it to investors between January 31st and February 2nd, that's when we'll get it, right? It's publicly available, and I can get the report and I can make my graphs and stuff and talk about it on the throwdown after that.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
it's
what you
yeah.
have to wait for.
So here we go. Sodep goes. Do we get the financial reports tonight? He just explained why
No,
you're not. As a matter of fact, you're not going to get those financials until you're already playing Resident Evil 2 remake, dude.
yeah. See, like I understand why everybody's getting hyped because they have these brief sales quotes from like the Take Two CEO and all this stuff, but that's just talking about Red Dead. That's not a financial report. They're just giving out sales. They're bragging basically, right? Because the game's doing so damn well. But that's not a complete picture of how the game's gonna do. And you still have holiday sales, right? And then we could talk about after the next quarter, whenever they launch online. Then that'll be a whole other search to talk about. But I'm not going to get a picture of the financials until Q3 ends, and it ends December 31st. I won't get that report till the end of January, the beginning of February when they release it to the public.
Yeah, and this goes for all the companies, right? Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo.
Yep,
Like you're not going to get
they're
financials.
all
Yeah.
Yep, they all practice the same fiscal calendar, so they're all in the same. They're all lined up.
Yeah. So you guys asking us? Actually, the two guys that have been asking me, Fan and Vash and Sodep, don't ask us again until February because that's when you're going to get the financials.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, you know what we know, right? The 17 million copies sold in 8 days, the 725 million in the first three. That's all what they've told us. That's it. That's all the numbers we have.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, just chill out. We don't get this again. We can't even if we had access to it early, it would still be too early because the quarter isn't over yet. The quarter's just begun. You know, or 1 month is already passed. You know, so just wait. It's just I know you guys like the graphs. The graphs will return, like James Bond. They will return, but just gotta wait. All right. But we already talked about quarter 2 financials though. Sodep goes, what about quarter 2 financial? We talked about those already. Chris did his graphs for those, man. That was months ago.
We gotta refer back to a certain episode.
Yeah, we'll go back. I'm not doing it for you guys. Chris, you did those already, man. I remember. I was there. You know.
We saw the graphs. He put them
Fiscal
up
year.
on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're asking me to talk about Q2, and Q2 2019 for Take Two Interactive, that I mean, if you really want that, just put it in the question. I could do it on Throw on your questions, but that's all going to be GTA 5 and just a few other titles.
Yeah. So Sodep says the 30th of September.
Yeah, that I know. Yeah, that's what he's asking for.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
if you want it, I'll talk about it on I'll throw it on your questions. I have to put it together.
all right. Just be aware that Red Dead Redemption will not be there. Just
Yeah,
be
won't be on.
aware of that. You know. All right. And Fanavash already alluded to it. Red Dead Online, they announced that the online beta will start at the end of of November. So I'm like, what does that mean? November 30th at 11:59 p.m. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, my prediction is that beta is not going to be like a weekend or something. It's just going to stay there until they finish it. You know?
I could see them pushing it like close to like Black Friday or.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Get this
That's
game.
smart.
And guess what? You get to play in the beta. Suck up, bitches.
It's like a free
Everybody
Sunday.
You guys suck up free Sunday. Forget your family. Play some Red Dead. Kill a cowboy. You know, I could see something like that. You know, just to boost the sales.
I'm going to go with that theory. I think that's when they're going to launch it. They're going to launch it during Black Friday, boost those sales. It's going to be crazy, man. Like, oh, you can play online, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And that's when,
Man,
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm just curious with what they excited. I'm just excited to see what they're gonna implement. What did they incorporate from the old online Red Dead and with GTA and what they've learned from GTA Online? You know, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're definitely gonna have a posse. We're definitely gonna stream it. I'm definitely gonna take my horse off.
Yeah, Adams, yeah, he's gonna throw us all off the
kidnapped
cliff.
by the serial killer because he's probably still gonna be in the online.
We're gonna tell him ride your horse forward, and this guy turns around and shit.
Because I'm telling you, I'm like a fly in the light. I see something shiny. I'm like, oh, what's this over here? That's not where we're going. Yeah, but what's this over here?
What's this over here? You know, then his
it's
fucking.
just a rock. My bad. Where did you guys go? Forget it. I'm fucked. I've mission failed. That's
Like,
how it works for me. It sucks.
You're a weird guy, man.
I ruin my. You know what? It's because I'm just used to always picking up shit. You know, I'm that guy that when you're in a building and you go down the stairs, it says, "Oh, go through the door." I stop. I turn around. I look at the staircase. And every time I'm playing like Red Dead, so I'm on the road and I see something out in the bush and I see an animal jumping. What the hell was that? What was that? Do I need that? Is that legendary? I don't know. And I go running off into the field, trying to hunt this shit down. Then it gets dark. Then I set up camp. Get sidetracked.
Yeah. By the way, this is interesting. Thank you for bringing this up, Fanavash. The Red Dead Redemption 2 PS4 Pro bundle actually has a quieter model of the PS4 Pro.
Don't tell me that shit, man.
Yeah. So yeah, because they actually revised. You know, they do that shit all the time. They do those like stealth revisions.
Yeah, that makes me mad. Thanks for that update. You just pissed me off. Now, I got my Jet fan over here waking up everybody.
You know,
it sounds like I'm running a fucking hair blower. Oh shit, that sucks.
Yeah. So, but you're right. When that beta goes, and remember, you know, anybody that has the game gets in it free. We're gonna be streaming the fuck out of that. You may get nightly streams. This is gonna be real right now. Yeah, you're gonna see Adam in all his glory, man. You know,
glory. In fact, I'm gonna name my horse that Glory.
We're gonna be going on a mission. Adam's horse gets spooked by a fucking snake and shit. Fails everything. You know.
It runs off. I shoot it. I need all my stuff on the saddle. I can't let that thing run. No.
Oh. Hey, Adam.
Yes.
What do you call those bullet holes?
Uh-oh. What do we call those bullet holes?
I'm not answering. I'm just asking.
Oh, I don't know.
You know the holes in your horse named Glory.
Glory holes.
Oh,
there we go.
Damn.
There we go. That's a different game.
Brett just cast that lure, waiting for that bite.
Oh.
Yeah. By the way, that's what I was doing before we went on. I was fishing. Hey man, I gotta get legendary fish, son. You know.
What do you get for the legendary fish? Like can you craft anything useful?
Yeah, you get some trinkets. You know, just like with all the legendary animals, you could trinkets, which are really good. They give you give you different boosts for like health and dead eye and shit like that. They're really good. They're really helpful.
What I want to get is the the grade A wolf fur, so that way you can get that wolf vest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That looks cool. I was like, oh, I need to get that.
Yeah, what you need to do is you got to get the improved arrows. And then also, if you hunt the legendary buck, I believe it is, the trinket you get off of that, it makes all the pelts better quality. So you'll never have you'll never get a poor pelt unless you shoot at the animal with a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like minimum, you'll get a good pelt. You know, but yeah, you'll get more of the legend. What we would call them perfect pelts. Go ahead, Brett.
Interesting side note.
Yeah.
You also get poor quality pelts if you trample a prey to death with your horse.
Yes, that is true.
I've happened a few times. I've run over an animal. I'm like, oh, easy kill, and then I pick it up. I'm like, oh, I ruined this shit.
Yeah, you fucking broke it.
Yeah.
Turns out stepping on a rabbit does not make for good rabbit fur.
No, I can fix it. Crazy glue. Come on. Use some horse glue. I kill the horse. I make the glue. It all works out.
Have you shot anybody's horse just because they're an asshole?
I had to shoot a horse because the guy was running. Because I tried to defuse the situation. He saw something he wasn't supposed to see, and I tried to defuse it, and he was like, "No, I'm getting the law." And I kept shooting at him. I guess my aim was horrible, so I said, "Fuck, I'm gonna aim at the horse." So I shoot it, and I heard so the horse trampled, and it fell on him, and then he died.
Nice. That's how you kill people, man.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I've had to kill a few horses just like, that motherfucker's getting away. My horse, I don't know where he is. He's taking a piss somewhere. So I had to kill this guy's horse to even it out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I had a guy try and steal my horse. Have you had that happen?
Oh, yeah. That's happened to me. That's happened
Literally
to me.
right after I spent like 2.5 hours getting the white Arabian.
Oh,
wow.
Thanks for the horse. I shot him. Have you bullet timed anybody with like all 8 bullets in the chamber?
No.
It's gratuitous and awesome.
Oh, I've done it with the 6. Yeah, like bam, 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 bam. Like he just shoots them real fast.
Yeah. If you're bored, if you find yourself somehow bored, that deadeye somebody 6 times in the dick.
Okay.
it never stops being funny.
That's hilarious.
Well, that's cool. You got the horse, but whenever I bit any of that stuff, I just instantly create a manual save file just for that reason. Because I've had early on where I'd get a certain weapon and then I'll run out and die. And there was that early on the doctor's office where you get that legendary rare gun in the back.
Yeah.
And then next I get stopped by the cops and I was like, oh shit, and then I lost it. So after that I was like, nope, every time I get it and I get away or do something, I save.
Yeah, by the way, Manny, who's I don't know where the hell he is right now. I hope everything right. His theory is that the reason you're having so many of those issues is because you do a lot of those rage quits.
No, well, you saw the issues. They said it online. Other people are having.
Yeah, other people are having them. That's true. It's not just isolated to you.
Not just me. It's the mission. It's like I don't remember failing that mission, but I think it's later on because it was during the fight scene, and I don't. Maybe I did, or I failed the fight the first go around, and then I just clicked, retry from checkpoint. And once you do that, it ruins it where the other characters now at camp no longer appear. Just by doing that, if you wanted to avoid that, which you wouldn't know to do, you have to restart the mission altogether. So you're back on the wagon with the 2 girls going into Valentine for the first time. But that's it. So, and that's why a lot of people that didn't experience it, because they never had to click the retry from checkpoint. They just finished the whole mission and that was it.
Yeah.
So if you did that, then you don't have any of those weird glitches. But it sort of trickles down effect because then you can't do any of the stuff with them. You can't interact because they're not there. And then when they do pop up, they only pop up for the main story missions. But their side missions you still can't do because they're not there. And then it's not until they said chapter 4 where they're constantly there just roaming. And then you can start doing all those piled up side missions. But Rockstar is aware of it, and they said they're working on a fix. So, I mean, right now the only fix is to restart your game.
That's crazy.
I have to be like over 40 hours or 50 hours. And, I made it. I'm in chapter 3, but I spent so much time just free roaming, doing weird shit.
Like putting glory holes in horses?
Yeah, putting glory holes in the horses. And that's it. It's like, I don't want if it's just side missions, because that's the thing, I'm not. It doesn't ruin the story, but you just don't get all the dialogue and the random side missions. That pops up all in chapter 4. So I'm sure there's a bunch of things with Sadie because she was also gone. Sadie was gone. Jack was gone. Marston was gone. His wife was gone. I could see their campfire and everything, and no one's there.
That's crazy.
And there's videos on YouTube. You'll see where people are like, yeah, where is everybody? They're not here.
Yeah. No, I believe you. I haven't
Yeah,
experienced
that's why I
that
sent you the
myself.
video. That
Yeah.
guy was freaking out. I was like, "Yo, look, this shit's this game's broken. This game breaking. That's it." And then that's when Rockstar came out, and I remember it looked like it was their overseas tech, but he was right. Yeah, misspellings and all, but that was correct because later on they came out with an official statement. And it's the same. It was the same effect. It was like, yeah, this is what's causing it. We know that, and this is how you can resolve it. But if not, we're going to come up with a fix for those who already invested a bunch of hours and are way past that chapter. So.
Crazy. All right, man. Moving on here. So this one's been a long time coming. The Nintendo Switch is finally getting the YouTube app after all this time. So
Yay.
yeah. I was like, what do you say? Yay!
Finally.
Does it have Netflix yet?
Not
No.
yet.
Oh, don't bring that up. I mean, look, they just got YouTube. Come on, just be happy.
Baby steps.
Maybe they got Hulu out of all of them first, which that blew me away. I was like, what? Hulu first?
There was this one tweet I saw on Twitter that was hilarious. It was linked to the story, but above it, it just said, "Don't you people have smartphones?"
Oh man.
Oh, just play the Diablo conference for them. Don't you guys have
Yeah.
phones?
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm like, okay, you're getting the YouTube app on Switch. Okay, okay. Here's my question: do you think the YouTube app is now going to get the Switch effect, as I call it, where everything old becomes new again just because it's on Switch? Is now YouTube going to be the hottest thing ever, just like fucking Shovel Knight?
Oh my god.
Is it gonna
For certain people doing like watching streams and well, not streams, but like playthroughs and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I
But the thing is like, because you can't say, oh, but they could do it. They could do it portably now. It's like, yeah, you could also watch YouTube on your phone.
Yeah. The phone experience will probably be better anyway from just the quality of the screen.
Yeah.
But what I want to know if it's gonna have all the features like downloading, content to your device. Are they gonna allow that? I don't know.
It's a good question.
Switch.
But yeah, like Chris said, baby steps. So good for them. Maybe they'll get Netflix next year. Or Twitch. They don't even have Twitch on that shit yet either,
They
do
don't
they?
have Twitch, yeah.
Wow. Come on.
Well, they don't
Nintendo.
want people streaming their gameplay anyway. So
Well,
Then,
go ahead, Riku.
no, I was saying, so this is about the Nintendo Switch, right?
Yeah, Nintendo Switch is getting the YouTube app.
So they've been wanting this for a while, right?
I
Or-
guess. Yeah.
it's just expected. You know what I mean? It's in this day and age where you expect every device to support YouTube, Netflix. At least
Do
those
they
two.
have Netflix?
Nope.
Nope.
I guess that's the next thing up, huh?
They
Tab,
got
like what- yeah.
Hulu
I
out
like-
of all of them, which is so weird. Who the fuck uses Hulu?
Yeah, I like check out what Fan of Bash said. He goes, "Why does Switch need a YouTube app when you can just use your smartphone for YouTube? I mean, you already have to use your smartphone to chat on your Switch. Damn,
Oh, jump the mic.
Oh, that's a Barry Burton reply right there, man.
There you go.
Fantastic.
It's not lit.
But yeah, but hey, good for you, Nintendo. You're slowly getting into the 21st century. Slowly.
Man, I just started. I was like, who works behind? Who's in charge of this? Who's like, hey, listen, we should we have to wait for
Well,
what?
Wait.
What?
It-
Why?
It's a double-edged problem because when they make these contracts with the streaming services has to agree to develop the app, right? Nintendo's not making it for them. They're just like, here's the API. We'll work out this kind of deal for it, and Netflix can reject it. I'm thinking after the Wii U, they were soured on it. That's why they were going to wait. Now Nintendo has the install base. Netflix just doesn't have the impetus to be bothered.
Oh, so you think
making
it's
that.
the other way around?
It's the other way around, yeah.
Ah.
It was the same thing why it took so long to end up on the Wii, and Netflix really had to work to make that happen on the Wii version, and the Wii U was an abysmal failure. Let's just be real, and Netflix probably just doesn't want to be bothered. They're like, look, we get the lowest viewership from your systems, so not just not gonna do it. Like the highest viewership on consoles for Netflix is PlayStation. So
Yeah.
of course they're gonna support that. They support Xbox. That's the second highest. Nintendo's always dead last. Like not even dead last. Like dead last of everything. You know. So they don't care.
You know what? Now that I think about it, then we'll probably get an Xbox service app on the Switch before we get
Oh
Netflix.
shit.
Because they have a closer partnership. So it's like, I'm sure when they're like, hey, you know what, Microsoft, you guys can put an app. Oh, you know what? We just so happen to have one. Jimmy, come over here. Show them that app we got. And there you go. It's on the Switch. Play Xbox games on Switch.
Yeah, oh shit, man, he passed out. Hey, my man works hard, son. So, okay, that's good. At least he just fell asleep. You know, nothing life threatening. Hey, man. Let's see. Okay, so what are we talking about right now? Okay, so this is a fun story. So basically, and this is surprising too. PS Now is the top subscription service for consoles. Like,
I can't
what?
believe it.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the fuck? So check out the breakdown, right? First up is Origin Access EA 8%, Origin Access Premier 9%, Xbox Game Pass 15%, EA Access 16%, PS Now 52%.
Whoa.
That's fucking crazy.
That
I need to
is
stop
really-
listening to the fanboys because I thought this shit was dying.
I don't know anyone. I know tons of people that have this. I don't know anyone that uses this.
Adam,
Like, aren't we all ponies? None of us
yeah,
are using it.
yeah, none of it. But like I explained, how? By the way, Manny, hello, Manny. I hope you had a nice nap.
Yeah, I always put my my girlfriend to bed.
Oh, we don't need to know the details, man.
I guess I was a little. I guess I was a
It's
little
a
beat.
family
Yeah.
show.
I guess I was
Yeah.
a little beat.
But anyway, so yeah, Manny asked me, he's like, "Do you know anybody?" I'm like, "How many Justin Bieber fans do you know? You don't know anybody."
I know a few. I do know. My brother.
Adam,
brother, 'cause
what
he
is up
sings-
with
he
you,
sings
bro?
and
How
does
you
all
know
that
those
stuff.
people, man?
I just know his
Yeah,
family.
but the point is, like, basically, PS Now is not really for us. It's for more casual people. Let's just be honest.
I could see it being for people that are just PC gamers, because then they can play those PS3 exclusives that if they didn't have a PS3 on their PC.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's
so
what I'm
I
saying.
can see that.
This is not for us. This is why we don't know any gamers that have this shit. But it's still doing fantastic. It's doing gangbusters, apparently. Very shocking right there, especially since all the fanboys were like, "Oh, yeah, actually, no, I'm gonna fuck that. I'm gonna keep it real right now." How come these guys that are always saying about how Xbox Game Pass shits on PlayStation now? If that's the case, why isn't it doing as better? Or better at than it?
Or people, these could be people that just subscribed a long time ago through their TV. Remember, they had the TV app.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
they just
also
never
true.
Canceled. And they maybe never canceled.
That's a
them.
lot of TVs.
Well, it was
No.
TVs. It was other things. It was TVs. It was
That's something.
consoles,
That's
it
something
was on
Brian
everything.
pointed out. That, like, this isn't telling you how many users are there. They're just telling you how much
Yes.
money they make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this is just
Yeah.
based on revenue, so we need to take that into account because how much is PS Now compared to Game Pass? Like,
Yeah,
that also
yeah.
is a thing, and also you need to remember like how many like free Game Passes you actually get compared to like how many times have you heard someone say, "Hey, PS Now is free for, like 2 months or 3 months." Like I've never heard of that.
That's
Whereas
a
Game
fact.
Pass is like, "Hey, it's cheap, it's discounted, it's free for like 3 months if you retweet Mike." So you need to factor that in, and also PS Now is available on PC and PlayStation and on TVs. Whereas, as far as I know, the Xbox Game Pass now is only on Xbox, and so is like most of the EA stuff. So hence, there's just a lower market share that it can be on. So again, it's not too surprising that it's a lot more. I'm sure that there's like a given set of factors as to why, but for me, I'm like, okay, cool. It's there in terms of revenue, which is great, but how many people are actually using it? Because for all we know, it could be like 6 guys that just spend millions on it.
Because I mean, even if it's not
know.
us, just look at your friends list. I mean, I have close to 100 people. I'm sure Tony, you got a bunch. Do you ever see people playing? It'll say
No.
it. PS
No,
Now
never.
playing,
I've never seen that.
You know.
But Fan Vash goes, PS Now is killing it because PC gamers can finally play Bloodborne.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know.
Possibly.
everything right there. Yeah, they could play that. They could play the Uncharted games. They could play Last of Us.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this is coming from PC gamers, because you don't even need a crazy rig for this. You don't.
No,
You just
you
need
just
good
need a
internet.
controller.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need. That's what I'm saying. I think that this service is really more for casual gamers, and or maybe younger gamers that like their parents aren't going to buy them all these games. But like, you know what? I'll pay $99 a year so you could play everything. It's definitely not for us. But I found it interesting because again, then if you go with the narrative out there, wink, wink, this is an abysmal failure. Apparently not. Very interesting. But yeah, no, like I said before, I'm not interested in streaming games. I'm not down with that shit. That's called consistency, by the way, people. Because when the Xbox version got announced, somebody was like, "Oh, you just don't like it because on Xbox." I'm like, "Really? I don't like PS Now either." Say something.
You didn't like it now or later.
Oh. Yeah. What about you, Riku? You know anybody who uses PS Now?
Nope. Well, actually, do I know one person, Bovice47. He uses it.
Yeah. Does he like
Other
it?
than, yeah, he loves it.
Interesting. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like one person out of because like if I were to ask you how many people do you know that have PS Plus, almost everybody does.
Basically everybody.
Yeah.
Riku, do you know why your boy uses it? Out of interest.
To play PS3 games.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That's
He likes
pretty
Man,
much
I
it.
thought Brian was setting up for a joke there.
Yeah, just that.
No,
just
just general interest. Like again, none of us know anyone that does use it. So hence, again, this is like the first person that I know that uses it. So hence, I'm like,
Yeah.
why do you use it? Because I
Yeah,
have
it
no
seems
idea.
like he only uses it for the backlog of PS3 games to play on his PS4.
I have to say, I'm still surprised that we wound up getting a free VR game with Plus. Like, was it every month? And nothing from the PS Now. I always assumed that was gonna happen. We were eventually gonna have one free PS Now game included. Just to try to get people into that idea of using it. It's like, hey, see, it's not too bad. You get this one. They never even bothered with that. It's like its own thing.
It is.
I
Its own
say,
thing.
I say, wait until around was it like March or April when they announced that there's no more PS Vita and PS3 games on PS Plus, and then we'll see what they change.
Oh, it'll
I
be the
thought they already
replacement.
stopped PS Vita games.
No,
No,
but you still get it in
they
Plus. You still get Vita games in Plus.
no, they announced it that they're stopping it in like a year.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because I'm like, I thought they already stopped that shit.
Yeah.
No,
I know we talked
I'm just
about it.
waiting.
You know?
Yeah, it's I really want to know what the hell they're going to change. Well, the fact that they've increased the price and they're moving games, it's like you better add something in there because right now PS Plus is just literally there for PS4 games online and that's it. Because everything else is kind of mute.
Yeah, like right now they have Yakuza, Kiwami. That's good, but yeah, it's been dry as fuck. I haven't downloaded anything in like 2 years, maybe.
What? Well, you always get everything.
Yeah, I have all those games. Like even Kiwami, like I got that shit already.
I didn't have that one. That one I didn't. Last Yakuza was the one the new one, the Zero. Remember the talking
Yeah.
chicken at the bowling alley?
Yes. Crazy. All right. Okay. So this one's interesting. So, the director of Final Fantasy 15 has left Square Enix, and this means that they're going to cancel all the upcoming DLC for the game. My question is, I didn't know they were still working on shit for the game.
they made
Wasn't this
an-
motherfucker done?
They made an announcement not long ago about there being a bunch of DLC. There was going to be another Noctis DLC. There was going to be about one about Luna Freya and a few other ones. So there's only 2 DLCs they have mentioned that are supposed to be just coming.
Yeah, I even saw
One
the
is
voice
definitely
actor.
coming.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I even saw the voice actor for Noctis or whatever. He was like, "Sorry, guys."
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're all doing. Now, here's the thing: like, what is it that made this guy leave? That's the question I want to know.
I don't know, man.
I mean, there is a quote in there that says, "Oh, it's like, hey, thank you very much. I made this company because, I moved on because I wanted to do my own thing. Like, what's going on here?"
No. Because you only say that after you've already completed your projects, and then it's like, all right, well, here you want to work on something new? Nah, I'm ready to go. No, they still, like you just heard, they still got more content that they had planned out with him.
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, now he's walking away. There's some,
Yeah, and I think there's something. I definitely think there was some
something
sort
else
of
going
things.
on.
Yeah, not to mention that also the company, the studio that did make Final Fantasy 15, which was
Luminous.
I can't remember. Yeah, Luminous. They are moving on to something new too.
Interesting. So yeah, I
They
know
also
you're right.
said something about restructuring and all that other stuff. So it means that something big happened.
My thing is like, listen, that game was in development. That game's been in development since the Bush administration. You're done. Leave it alone. Go to something else now. You know.
Well, yeah, you know how it is because because the game did so well, they wanted to still capitalize on it, so
Yeah.
and make some more content.
I heard that one of the reasons they keep doing that is so they could keep recoup the money they spent all those years. You know,
Yeah,
I can see that.
They spent a lot of money on it. Maybe they put the Luminous team on Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, right.
But wasn't the whole idea was that the game was just never finished? It was released unfinished, and they're still working on it. It's still a game in progress. That's why we're still getting all this content years later.
You know, well, it's finally done now. It's like, come on, guys, just move the fuck on. You know. Pretty interesting. Yeah, but you're right. He like everybody was surprised by that because he hadn't given any hints that anything was happening. You know.
They made this announcement. It was Square that did an announcement talking about it.
They did like a whole video and everything too.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, wow.
The video was usually when in Japan they usually do these little videos to do some sort of little announcements, stuff like that. And this one was like, we're canceling all these things and other stuff like that.
Damn,
so
that's an anti-hype video then.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
an anti-hype video.
It was more.
Riku, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Thoughts on repeat the topic?
Final Fantasy 15 DLC being canceled and the director leaving.
Jesus Christ, that's some messy stuff. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter pissed off about that, saying that we're not going to get the complete package of Final Fantasy 15 now and all this other stuff. I mean, I haven't played 15 yet. I thought by the time I get to it that they would have all of their DLC out and completed, but it doesn't look like that's the case. I don't even know. I think by the time I even get to Final Fantasy 15, PlayStation 5 might be out, and they might have a PlayStation 5 edition. So I feel kind of stupid for even buying this PS4 version, because by the time I get to it, I might be playing it on PS5.
Hey, just sell it and buy the new one, or the backward compatibility.
Yeah, my thing is listen, I already got the platinum. I don't need any more of this game. I'm good.
Was there a season pass for any of that stuff?
I have no idea. I didn't care. Once I got the platinum, I was done.
Yep. There was a season pass.
Oh, they need to refund that shit.
Yeah, that's
but here's the thing. That wasn't included. I don't remember that being included as part of it.
This new DLC was not part of the season pass. There's a season pass for I think the first 3 DLCs with your 4 people or your 3 people, and then this was like season 2. So this was like second year DLC, but I don't think there was a season pass.
No, there wasn't. They only just announced it, and even a lot. This DLC was going to be announced for like 2019. Like it wasn't like anything. Anything coming out soon.
Okay.
Drama Square-Enix, man.
I mean, they haven't had a good year so far. Tomb Raider not doing so well, and a few of their other games underperforming, and now this.
Yeah, I mean, what do they have? The next big game that's coming out, or the last big game for this year, is Just Cause 4.
They did Octopath, right?
Yes, that was them. All their Switch games did really well. Octopath, remember that game was sold out, basically.
Shit, fucking garbage games that come out on Switch are doing well. Everything needs to come out on Switch. If you failed somewhere else, you'll be successful on Switch. Just
go on Switch, yeah.
Go on Switch.
That is true, all right. Also, speaking about Japanese games, Riku, you could drop this in here. You wanted to talk about Nihon Falcom, something or other?
Yeah, Nihon Falcom. So they were saying that they wanted to push out more games, aiming for 2019 of September. They seem to like September. They always seem to release their games, at least their Japanese games, in September. But I think it's just good that they are pushing forward in as far as getting games out there, because it seems that from a popularity standpoint, they've always been far, far behind all of the other ones like Enix and Square and whoever else was out there making JRPGs. But it does seem in the past couple of years their popularity has been growing really, really quickly. And I think that Ease 8 that came out on the Nintendo Switch definitely uh skyrocketed the Ease's popularity um to an all-time high. So I think them moving straight into Ease 9 is probably the best thing for them to do right now. Because like I said, when Ease 8 came out on Nintendo Switch, I've never heard so many people talk about Ease ever. So moving straight over to Ease
These
9,
guys just discovered the series, man.
It's
yeah.
like, yo, man, that thing's been around for over 20 years, man.
Yeah.
Y'all are late
And
to the party.
and then now Nintendo Switch, which is funny because Nintendo. I think the last time Ease was on a Nintendo console was Ease 5.
It was like Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Nintendo. Yeah, it
It
was
was
Super
Ease
Nintendo.
3. That's the one I played, you know. But yeah.
That was on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Ease 3.
Yeah, Ease 3, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say the very last one, but yeah, the very last one was on was Ease 5 on Super Nintendo.
Damn.
So Ease 3, 4, and 5 were on Super Nintendo, and then they just 6, 7, and 8 was PlayStation.
I swear that Nintendo Switch effect. I never heard of this series. This is good.
They're up to
Mhm.
8.
Up to 8. Oh shit.
Dear
Yeah.
Reggie, please bring the other 7 games.
People was calling
What?
Ease 8 the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 killer and shit. I'm like, damn.
What?
I haven't played.
Whoa.
I haven't even played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but that's what a couple of the Nintendo Switch guys were saying. They were flipping out about Ease. So
Where were these guys for the other East games?
Yo,
I
they're like,
don't know.
why people are upset about wanting Diablo 4? Diablo 3 just came out. It's brand new.
Yeah, right. It's the
But
hottest version ever.
Yeah, but them hopping straight into Ease 9, they most likely will have a Switch version coming out as soon as the actual game comes out because they were late this time. But yeah, I'm interested to see in the next couple of years where Neon Falcom's popularity stands, Tony, man. I think these next couple of years, you're just gonna see it grow and grow and grow every
I think
time.
you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right
especially
about that.
especially since, like I said, especially since they're coming to the Switch now, and every time something comes to the Switch, they scream loud, so everybody can hear them.
Yeah, speaking about that, Dragon Quest 11 sold 4 million. Like,
Yeah, I saw
actually sold, and it's not even on Switch yet. Think about that.
that. Yeah, yep.
Is that a Minecraft type game?
No,
No.
it's a
No.
super
Not Dra-
RPG. Yeah,
Are you thinking of Dragon Quest Builders?
That's what he's thinking
That's
about.
it. That's
yeah. No,
Yeah,
this is
that's
the original JRPG Dragon Quest. You know,
Mhm.
no,
Yeah,
no-
the
The
mainline
game that inspired Final Fantasy.
yes, and every other
Yeah.
JRPG out there. The prototype, but yeah, no, it's in. But yeah, I agree with that. But again, it's just funny to me the Nintendo Switch effect. It's like you guys never heard of fucking East until now, right? Even though it's been out for fucking ages. Very
And then you had
interesting
a
to me.
couple on your console before that, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's portable. Well, really, because there's some portable East games too. You know,
Mm-hmm. Vita had and the PSP had a nice handful of them. So we were talking about on Twitter earlier today. But yeah, I mean, it helps to whatever helps the popularity make it grow.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
true.
fine with it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's fairly easy to develop for the Switch. So it's like, okay, it's got a good install base, and they can definitely, it's definitely good for a lot of those games that won't normally get seen. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Enrique, you'll like this comment from Fan of Ash. She goes, "I can't wait to finally play the Trails of Cold Steel series next year when it launches on PS4. Seeing Riku and Blackstar hyping it up on Twitter has convinced me to make the jump."
Yeah, man, hop into it. I keep on telling people, man. In my opinion, the Trails of Cold Steel series is better than Persona.
What?
Yeah, easily by far. And it's funny because Trails of Cold Steel, it definitely took inspiration from Persona. So it's like all of the little tiny things to Persona that irked me. It feels like they when they went ahead and made Trails of Cold Steel, they took all of the good stuff but left out all of the stuff that irked me.
Does it have that same presentation from Persona, that really slick, type
I
of
think
shit? I love that, man.
it seems that when it comes to Trails of Cold Steel 3, the one that's being developed for PS4, they're definitely going for that flair. But as far as 1 and 2 is more along the lines of Persona 4 Golden.
Oh, okay,
So
I
not
got you.
so not nearly as much as flair as Persona 5 had. But yeah, I would say if Persona still has anything over Trails of Cold Steel, it's probably, and obviously this one is subjective, music, and that's only by a little bit, and like you said, presentation. So like menus and all that other stuff. But literally everything else, I think Trails of Cold Steel crushes it in story, gameplay, like everything. It's crazy.
And again, why do you? Because you always compare them. Or is it a fact that the Trails games are inspired by Persona? Because
The
I'm like,
Trails games are
yeah,
inspired by a lot of shit. Like I see some Final Fantasy VII in there. I see some, like I said, I see Persona in there, where your characters go to an academy. There's certain tests that you have to take. Days go by. You go back to your dorm. They have all of that in there. Um, there's some apparently there's some Xenogears inspiration in there. There's some Suikoden inspiration in there. There's a lot of JRPGs you can tell that this took an inspiration from, and it just seems that they took all of the good stuff of each of them and refined it to a T.
yeah. Because I always see you comparing it to Persona the most. I'm like, how come you're
Yeah,
not comparing it to other games?
I only compare it to Persona the most because out of all of the ones that it took inspiration from, you can definitely tell uh, Persona was like the main one it took a lot of the inspiration from. Like all of the other ones, like I said, there's like one thing from each of them they took. Materia system, you can see that's like the only thing from Final Fantasy VII it took. The Xenogears, like the mech fights, that's the only thing it took from Xenogears. Suikoden, the only thing it took from Suikoden is, character, building the characters, the 108 stars. But from Persona, there's like 4 or 5 different things. So it's like you can definitely tell. Okay, we trying to get that Persona fan base. You could definitely tell that because Trails in the Sky had none of those things. So
Hmm.
it is what it is.
I got you. So there you go, people. It's coming out on PS4. Is that game going to come out on Switch?
I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up making a Switch version after, later down the line. But it's only, I think that they're only focused on bringing it out on PS4, next year, first quarter.
Yeah, because you
So,
already know what's going to happen. Trails games come to Switch. I never heard of these. This is fantastic.
oh yeah, I was telling them that when they announced it on PS4, I was like, y'all need to bring this to Switch because you saw what happened with Ease. Ease came out on PS4. Everyone's like, oh, this is cool, but majority of the Switch guys like, yeah, it came out on Vita. Obviously, they didn't care. It hit the Switch. Oh yeah, what is this game? Oh yeah, eat it all up.
Yeah, like, oh,
But
I can take it on the go.
exactly. The Trails of Cold Steel comes out on Vita. Nobody cares. Comes out on PC. Nobody cares. Comes out on PS4 next year. Gonna hear a few people, but like I said, Neon Falcom, you guys need to definitely look at these Switch guys because they scream the loudest. They probably don't, sell as crazy as PS4. They definitely still pushing their numbers. But if there's anyone that screams the loudest, it's them. So
Yeah,
it only could
exactly.
like just like Ease, it only could benefit them if they go ahead and do it. Especially since Persona isn't on the Switch, so you know
That's pretty interesting because I'm like, Persona 5 would be great on Switch,
it would. It would. Yep.
That's funny. But again, the whole thing of like, oh, I could play Trails, portably. That's not, you can't use that as an excuse because you could do that now,
Yeah. When it first came out, it came out on PS3 and Vita. Those are the main games, the main places to play it on. That's where I played it. That's my
You
favorite
played
video
on
game.
a good portable system. That's what they mean.
Dang. You
Yeah,
could play it on an up to date portable system.
yeah, up
As
to
you
date, yeah,
say.
because I still feel, as a portable system, Vita's better than a fucking Switch, But that's just me.
I
I mean,
I
you're allowed to be wrong.
Yeah,
listen. I
That's
played
alright.
I played Trails of Cold Steel on the Vita, and I had no problem with it. Ran fine.
yeah, Vita's great. All
I
right,
still feel like they should have had the ability to plug it into your TV. Like they missed out big time on
they
that.
did, and the
Yeah.
stupid memory. We could go over all
Yeah.
that again,
Yeah. Of
Fan of Ash
course.
goes, I want to play East 8, but I heard the translation is ass because Nisa was in charge of the localization.
No, see, here's the thing. That was when it first came out, buddy. It's good now. I played it after the patch. Everything's fine. So go ahead and hop right in it. It's patched. Everything's good.
There you go. All right, moving on. Now we're getting to some controversy, people. All right, so basically, I believe this was earlier this week. YouTube deleted a channel. I forgot the guy's name, Shikaro or whatever, because he posted several videos of him playing Red Dead Redemption where he's beating the shit out of feminists. So they deleted his channel for violating terms of service or whatever. And he was like, "Okay, so I'm playing this game, killing men. You're fine. When I punch a woman, then it's a problem. An NPC woman caused a whole big controversy. But today, YouTube decided that he didn't violate anything. He just needed to put an age gate, so they gave his channel back. But I just find it interesting. It's like, if you're going to have an open world game, you're going to get the ability to beat up people, So
I think, and then not to mention that the only reason why this even got any sort of attention is because of the fact that because these things were posted a while ago.
Yes,
and it's only recently that
because articles got posted this week.
Because people were using this as posting articles and putting this game along, putting this gameplay along with it. Granted, he is he obviously is trolling with using the titles that he did. Throws a feminist into a river.
Annoying. He always said annoying feminist.
Throws annoying feminist into river, or
wasn't there one where he throws a feminist at a hungry
alligator and pig. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he obviously is. He's obviously wanting to get that sort of attention.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because of it, but at the same time, you can, in a game where you can pretty much kill everybody. It seems a bit odd. Like, you're shooting countless men in the game, murdering people. I'm sure you chopping people up, all kinds of other stuff. That's okay. But this isn't, and the only reason why anybody got activated on it is because there was articles that were talking about it.
Yeah, you're right, because the first video was like October 26th. I think the day the game came out, basically, and it just now got attention. But it's pretty interesting. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, these are like not even people. It kind of reminds me of the whole, like, you could beat it. It's a hooker beating simulator. Kind of has echoes of that. Yeah,
it's almost it's interesting. It's like a weird, like, twisted version of what that was happening years ago, where it's like, well, okay, here's the thing. Yes, you can beat up hookers, but you can also beat up everybody else. You can you could try to single out a specific type of person, which is kind of shitty.
But you can do that. That's what comes with it.
You can do that. And if you choose to concentrate on the fact that you can pretty much do anything you want,
I don't know if saying you can beat anybody up in the game except for feminists would have been a better message.
No, it wouldn't have been a message. It wouldn't have been the right message at all, because you're playing a fucking villain. No matter which way you try to twist it, the guy's a friggin' robber. Guy should be in jail, right? But that's the thing. It's like, the guy's a murderer and everything, and the only thing he can't kill is a feminist. That doesn't make any sense. He can kill everybody. He can kill friggin' Ku Klux Klan members. He can kill everybody in that game.
And does.
Yeah.
And does.
But also on the flip side, again, goes back to choice. You could also choose not to do that. The game's not forcing you, because as some of these outlets try to make it seem.
I think
no. I mean, that's the way the old outlets used to make it seem like, because they're like, oh, you get points for killing hookers.
Yeah, actually, in this one, if you beat up the feminists, you're gonna get a lower karma. That affects you.
It lowers.
Oh, the best part is when they failed to mention that there's actually a mission in the game where you have to actually go and protect them at a march.
Yes.
Like, the game actively says, hey, this is a good thing, like women's rights, like, you want people to stand up and protect them, because that was a thing that happened. Yet, conveniently, they all seem to miss that. So either A, they didn't do the research, i.e. they didn't play the game because they're not gamers, or B, they just thought, hey, no one needs to know this, just sweep it underneath the rug.
Yeah, exactly. There's an entire mission that you have to do where you help them out. So the game is clearly telling you, hey, this is a good thing. Women's suffrage is a good thing, which it is, obviously, but off the beaten path, you could also beat one of them up. You could also beat up a fucking racist that's giving you pamphlets about eugenics too. That's what happens in an open world game. And that was pretty satisfying too, beating the fuck out of that guy. He's telling me all this bullshit like, word, pop you. By the way, I'm still trying to find those fucking the KKK. I know where they are, but every time I go to that area, it's just a bunch of those ex-Confederate guys. And said, I still enjoy killing them too, but I want to blow up the KKK because they have a bonfire. If you throw a fucking stick of dynamite in there, woo, fun ensues.
It's also kind of funny if you sit there and just watch them.
They say some crazy shit. I heard,
that, and they try to do things and things fall apart on them. I don't want to spoil things. Some things happen.
By the way, shout out to Jack Move Johnny. He explained that if you let him go long enough, it turns into this Three Stooges. So I'm like, okay,
exactly. Yep.
And again, that's also the game telling you, it's like, yo, this is fucking stupid, man. But I'm glad YouTube at least gave the channels back. But it's right. It's like those videos should at least have an age gate on them. You know what I'm saying? Actually, anything with Red Dead Redemption should have a fucking age gate. Let's just be honest. Anything.
It definitely everything that having to do with Red Dead Redemption or any immature game should still have the age gate on there. But there's a lot of people that get away with some shit. YouTube in general is not paying attention.
Yeah, they're not. This is interesting from GZDR. He goes that the attributes of the woman in the game doesn't allow her to have a fair fight with your character. You have to question why someone would do that, and it brings about the conversation of, does video games amplify violence already inside someone? I don't think it really amplifies them. I don't believe in any of that. But
can you say that again?
Okay, I'm going to read this. The attributes of the woman in the game doesn't allow her to have a fair fight with your character. That's the first part. Do you want to respond to that, Brett? Or should I read the rest?
Yeah, do they have different attribute tables?
Well, the guy, the woman doesn't fight. She won't fight back.
Well, she won't fight back. Obviously, some other NPCs will. You want to fight them, they pull out a gun.
Yeah, the men
will pull out. Well, some of them. The racist asshole doesn't have a gun.
I got mugged by a woman on, out in the wilderness.
Oh yeah, that happened to me
on
too.
the side of the road, she actually faked getting injured, and they mugged me.
Yeah. By the way, I told this to Brett, and I'm going to say this at the I'm not. I'm just going to say, at the cost of sounding like a sexist, but I'm just being real right now. When I saw this woman on the ground, I knew something was up. It's going to sound stupid because she was wearing pants. I'm like, why is she wearing pants? Is she going to mug me? And sure enough, she did. Because think about it. It's like, if you're going to mug someone, you're going to do it in a dress. You're going to do it in pants so you can run,
I've learned my lesson from the first Red Dead Redemption when that would happen all the time. So the only person I ever save is that woman with the horse that's on her. Because you can clearly see a horse is on her.
Yeah. By the way, speaking about Red Dead, this was kind of funny. So this guy had a woman hog-tied behind his horse, right? So I roped the guy, whatever, and then I free the woman. Then I I'm gonna have some fun with that. So I put him on the back of my horse, and I get him to a swamp, and I throw him into the water. But his whole body doesn't go into the water. It's just like his upper torso and the lower torso is still out. His legs are just fucking twitching for like a minute until he dies. Like, it's pretty brutal, But yeah, no. When I saw that woman, like, why is that woman wearing pants? And then, sure enough, she wanted to mug me. And then every time I've seen her, I'm like, oh, I know this bitch. So I just shoot her right there, But
I don't let anybody try and mug me.
Yeah,
they never do.
Yeah, and then there's that fat bald guy. He's like, hey, can you help me? I'm like, oh, you're gonna rob my horse, aren't you, motherfucker? Bam.
What about the guy who wants to race your horse?
Oh yeah, I do that. I always beat his ass too.
I didn't even bother. He was like, "Come on, what
you chicken?" He gives you nothing for it.
He didn't give me nothing.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I always and I cheat too. I'm like, yo, horse, man, here's some stimulus, man. Here's some fucking horse tranquilizers. Let's go.
You juicing the horse?
Yeah, man, that's it. Hey, I juice too. You ever get the challenges from a guy? He's like, hey, like if you shoot more bottles than me, whatever. I'm like, all right, glug. Dead eye, bap. You ever done those? Like, there's a Mexican guy.
You're slowing time down. You have an unfair advantage.
Yeah, it's like, hey, who can shoot the most birds out of this guy? I'm like, I can't. Glug, pop. Like, damn, boy, you're good. Except for the Hispanic, he's like, the Mexican, he's like, maldito puto. All right, man. So anyway, and Brett, the last part, he goes, you have to question why someone would do that, and it brings about the conversation of, does video games amplify violence already inside somebody?
Okay, that's the first part of that is a sub question of part A. Why would anybody do that? I'm having trouble understanding the link between a woman not fighting back in a video game and do video games amplify violent tendencies? I don't see
Well,
the correlation here. Does anybody?
No, I
well,
don't.
remember in Red Dead Redemption 1, there was a trophy and an achievement to hog tie up a nun, put her on a track, and let her get run over by his train. Okay? The game was rewarding you for doing this to a nun.
Yeah, but you know what that was doing? It was just a callback to those like silent
Yeah,
movies.
exactly.
Yeah.
But they still did it. There's a lot of callbacks you could bring up.
Listen, every Rockstar game courts controversy. This has been going on for decades now. You know, this is what the company does. You know.
Yeah, but no,
I
like, the reason I'm hung up on this is like this is a prime example of the kind of argument that I try not to let fly. Like, okay, first of all, you have an assumption that all the women in this game can't fight you because it's coded into the code somewhere that female equals not able to fight. That's patently untrue as we've shown. But then you go on to correlate that with increased violence in video games on the part of the person playing it, or glorification of the hyperviolence of video games. And that's what I'm immediately like, okay, so here's a thing that you say that you don't like that's not necessarily true, and because of that, video games are making people violent. Like, you really need to support that kind of argument, because studies have shown otherwise. Studies have shown that people who play video games are actually generally less violent and have higher critical thought function. So no, I don't think so. But I have a real problem with, it's not even causality equating correlation. It's just random correlation, it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand what he was trying to get at either, but I disagree with it regardless, you know.
Yeah, it's all a power fantasy. It's a video game. People do things you don't normally do in a video game. There's a lot worse stuff than this. Like, Rockstar also made Manhunt.
Yeah.
Like, a game in which you murder other people and you have to survive. Like, you know.
Yeah. In brutal ways.
Brutal
you get
ways,
extra
yeah.
points for doing it brutal. Remember, that was the
So
whole
forget
thing.
about hog tying a feminist. Yeah,
Yeah, what about suffocating
a
somebody
different time.
with
It's
a
a different
paper
time.
bag, you know? Yeah. It's interesting.
that's why
you know?
we'll,
Imitatable actions, by the way.
see? And it's because of this, we won't get the remaster of Manhunt.
Man.
Oh, you probably won't see Bully either. Even though Bully was really not that bad.
They'll just change the name. They'll change the name. They'll have to, but
Well, they could do it like they did it in England, or in Europe, where they changed it to the name of the school.
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
you know, because I mean, the whole thing is that he wasn't the bully. He was against bullies. He was fighting bullies. He just stood up to them.
Yeah, YouTube reversed their stance today, right? Because I remember when I first threw the story in there, the channel was still not available.
Yeah, in fact, the thing was sent to somebody at YouTube Gaming, who was in charge of that, who essentially just looked it over and said, "Oh no, this is."
That's honestly just really concerning that YouTube can just turn around and just like remove his channel because they don't like his content.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
No, let him finish. Go ahead, Brian.
There was like no review or anything. It was just like instant, like, nope, be gone. It's like, really? Like, at least like review it or assess it or something. Like, no, it just seems like either there's someone that's hitting the kill switch or it's automated. Either way, it's not a good person to set in that someone just turn around and say, okay, cool, you know what, we don't like your channel and it's gone now. You know, like, we're not even going to attempt to do an investigation or look into it, or there's no type of process. It's just boom, gone.
Yeah,
like,
because that's much easier.
No, but again, as we said, right? But Brian, here's the thing: this was manual. You know why? Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly why this happened. Because of the news. Because these videos were up for almost 2 weeks. YouTube didn't catch them. They were up for almost 2 weeks with millions of views. And when the articles came out, that's when the channel was gone. So it was obvious somebody did it manually. You know. Yeah. Which is even worse.
And also not to mention, a stupid little YouTube site like this get this stupid little site gets pulled, but yet and all, still that Logan Paul guy's YouTube still exists.
Oh man, there's even worse things. It's like people that have like videos on there of pretty much porno. Like it's really bad. It's like there's stuff I've seen that's much worse than this, and yet it's the stuff they pull. It's like there's no consistency. It just seems to
You know
be
what it is?
whatever they
You
dislike.
know what it
that
really
people
is?
shout
It's
about.
because
That's what goes. Like really?
you know what it really is? It's all out of sight, out of mind. If they don't give it any sort of attention, it just doesn't. It just it's just fine. But if it starts giving them, some sort of bad press, that's when they need to start stepping in.
Also to answer your question about Logan Paul, you know exactly why, because Logan Paul brings them in too much money.
Yeah, that guy makes them too much fucking money, and that's why that motherfucker is still around.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. He did a video.
You're telling me this guy, essentially that idiot put something on there, and you're talking about imitatable actions and all kinds of other bullshit. He's freaking literally poisoning kids' minds by doing this bullshit. And you're not saying that that's not a problem?
Because he brings so much money. You're right. There's no consistency there. Basically, if you're at the, if it's a pyramid, if you're at the top of the pyramid for YouTube, you're not getting touched. You do whatever the fuck you want because you're bringing them too much money,
You guys are all missing something.
What's that?
I understand that it doesn't make sense to you guys, like the algorithm or the rhyme or the reason. And no, it's not automated. There's somebody doing this. But all of you forgetting this, the person who's doing this is better than us. They can make these kinds of decisions. They can view it with an unbiased opinion and decide the things that the rest of us should and should not see because they're just better people than us. I mean, YouTube employs these people to be better people than us, so they have to be, right?
I guess so. All these tech company people were better than us, apparently. At least that's probably what they think, these lowly peasants or whatever. It's insane. But yeah, that's my thing. It's like if there was consistency, there wouldn't be a problem here. Because they change the rules pretty much daily. Why the fuck do you think we're streaming exclusively to Twitch right now? Because of YouTube's nonsense. It's frustrating, man.
Yeah, Again, going back to that Logan Paul guy, that guy screws up, and everybody else has to suffer.
Yeah, pretty much. Him and PewDiePie. They keep fucking up, and then the rest of us suffer. But they don't give a fuck about us. We don't bring them any money.
No.
And that other guy, even though he had 500,000 subscribers, he doesn't bring them any money either.
I did hear that his sub count actually went up like 1.2 million or something dumb like that.
Wow.
Well, what do you expect? Like all this free
bringing attention.
publicity.
People want that's it.
Now it's free. Now it's free advertising.
Yeah. So basically, he went from a channel that pretty much no one had heard of, and then suddenly it's like, hey, he did this thing. He gets banned. People rise up with him, and then boom, now free exposure. It's like, hey, it's that guy that makes the videos.
It's that guy that makes the videos.
What else it has?
Yeah.
It's like it's a really odd time we live in. And I just wonder, is everyone just really stupid, or is it just me?
It's not stupid. It's people are insane. Yeah, no, it's just people are insane. And the internet's amplifying that. What's going on, Glorious War? What's going on, brother? But yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, next.
People aren't just insane. They are stupid. Brian, you are not wrong.
Right. Okay, they're stupid and insane. Let's go with that.
Stupid, insane, and ignorant.
There you go. Riku bringing it home, man. All right, next topic, another controversial one. So Nintendo removes a quote-unquote racist character from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So the character in question was from Game & Watch, and one of his super moves is he puts on an Indian headdress and does like a fireball attack. That was in the original game. That was one of the moves he does.
You can change his color too.
Yeah. How do you change his color? He's like black, basically.
It's alternate.
That was an alternate.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an alternate costume.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
they found that offensive to Native Americans, so now that's gone. In America, by the way, Japan, they ain't changing that shit. Obviously,
they can leave that over there. The funny thing is, I wonder. I would like to know are Native Americans really offended by a lot of that?
That's a good question.
Here's the thing.
I'm offended for them.
People asked. They did a poll on two Native Americans about the Washington Redskins, and they're like, whatever.
I feel sorry for all of them because I have yet to sit next to any Native American family in any kind of restaurant, and that's just a reminder that they've been wiped. They're wiped. I don't come across them, and it's upsetting because I know that they lived in this land. I can tell by the street names and the town names. This was their land,
Yeah,
and
like
it's
yeah. When you have a game named like those Native American type of street names.
oh yeah. There's a town not too far off that has a big Indian statue, and they have the name of the statue, and the town is named the statue, and there's not one Native American in that town.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic right there.
But
though.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That so it's not so much of offensive. It's more of a reminder. When I see something like that, it's just a reminder. It's like we shouldn't even. I don't even want to see that because even in Red Dead, when I saw that, it's not even a spoiler. Early scene, first chapter, when you look up at the side and you on the mountainside and you see the Indians, the natives, and it just makes me upset because we know the outcome of that, and it's not good for them at all. That
Yeah.
nothing ever worked out for them, and it's just sad. That's all.
It's kind of interesting how because all these things have been going on for a long time, right? These depictions, no one really said anything. Now people are saying something, so it's kind of interesting.
I think they said it before. It was just wasn't loud enough. The internet makes
Yeah, the
things
internet amplifies
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got rid. So I'm wondering, are they
Like
going to
I
change?
don't know if you remember
Yeah.
at school, my teacher was telling us to stop calling them Indians because that was just Christopher Columbus thinking that he made it to India.
Yeah.
He said these are Native Americans. It's not. These aren't.
No, when I went to
Indians.
school, they didn't correct us on that.
I remember it was my Catholic school, and I remember she kept his
Oh,
third
that's
grade. She
why.
kept-
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I was in Catholic school third grade, and she kept pointing that out. We're like, oh, we're cowboys and Indians. We're talking about in history. Like, no. They're natives. This was their land. They're Native Americans. They were not to Indians.
Yeah, no. When I went to school, there was cowboys and Indians. There was always Indians. Like I had to teach myself, like, don't call them Indians. Indians are actually from this place called India. But it's funny now. I'm playing Red Dead. I'm calling them Indians again. And I'm watching all these westerns. I'm calling them Indians again. It's hilarious. But you know what? Hey, listen, they call themselves Indians too. The Indian reservations and all that. So, but yeah, they're Native Americans, and yeah, you're right. Like the reason we don't see them is because we put them into these shitty little reservations where we're not getting it. That's way too
cut them off.
political.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just
Yeah.
so it's not so much that they're going to be offended. It's just a reminder of our past.
Yeah.
And of this country's past, and it's dark.
Yeah, Hey, listen, that's how civilizations get built. Fucked up shit happened in the past.
Yeah, the thing about our past is that nothing is going to change it. The fact is, you have to learn from the past.
Yeah,
these horrible. Here's some news for you. Something fucked up had to happen to somebody for everybody to be here.
Yep.
So we
Somebody got fucked over.
So we
Yeah.
should practice the idea of just wiping all of these ideas completely out of pop culture. Then we
No,
should just
no. My thing is like, basically, don't erase history because it happened, and even pop culture, but learn from it. Don't do it again. That's all you
And
can do.
I understand that, but like,
Tony, wait. History is racist.
Listen,
can't have that.
Yeah, history is racist, and you just got to accept it. Just don't do it again. It's simple. By the way, one of the reasons I'm
it's even racist. Can somebody explain this to me? Like, it's I get he puts on an Indian headdress. Like, I get that it is somebody putting on somebody else's traditional garb. Is that where this begins and ends?
Because it's cultural appropriation, probably. Either that or it's offensive to see that in that context.
Even with the whole football reference that Tony brought up, it wasn't so much that they were upset at that; they were upset at the gesture and with the people coming out and making believe.
Oh, the Redskins! No,
Yeah.
the Redskins. I get that was a slur.
even with the Redskins, like they
whatever.
Hold on.
They're not the same. They're the same
what we're
team.
talking about. This is some like American guilt shit. I mean, like we're talking about this one thing in a video game where somebody puts on a headdress and throws a fireball. We're not talking about the tragedy visited upon.
Yeah,
the
that's a
Native
whole other
American
subject.
people.
Yeah.
Well, but see, that's
Yeah.
I think that right there is why this happens. Like, I don't necessarily think that, and I haven't seen it, but like, okay, so they put on a headdress. Like they make a nod to culture. Like, I'm not necessarily one
That's almost like would it be the same sort of situation if it's the same character and he puts on a kimono and pulls out a samurai sword? Is that considered? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. If he throws on a kilt and pulls out a shillelagh, like, I don't, as an Irish person, like, I'm not offended. Like, I don't think just nodding to somebody's cultural heritage is offensive in and of its own right.
I mean, like people were pissed off that Mario was wearing a Mexican hat and a you know, in a whole Mexican garb.
Because he was wearing. Yeah, you know.
Why? Why?
You know, that's the thing I don't understand. But at least the thing I can understand more with Mario is like, okay, he's canonically like Italian. Like the character that we're talking about, like, do any of you even know for a fact he doesn't have Native American in him? Like, is that written in a story
character
somewhere?
is literally like black, like I'm saying black African American. I mean, like that is his only pigment. He's a two-dimensional black character. You know,
he's literally a silhouette of a person.
Yeah, he's a silhouette. There you go. Yeah, he's a shadow. He's a shadow, basically. You know.
He's a shadow. He's a silhouette. So who's to say that he isn't Native American?
Right? All these people just assume his race, I think.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, you get to the point of absurdity, and I think it's really weird. Like, yeah, like terrible things were done to the Native American people. We should not forget that. We should learn from that. But that doesn't mean that anytime anybody makes any kind of small reference to them, we should all go, "Oh no, you can't do that. We don't talk about that." Like that's kind of doing the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think this particular thing is like, come on, guys, you're carrying it too goddamn far right now.
But the thing is that this they've already removed it way before, even in the old Smash Brothers. This was an issue before.
Yeah.
And so it was like, wait, you're bringing this back? And that was the big concern because they were like, you took this out from the other games. Why are you bringing it back?
Yeah, because they want to avoid any controversy. Because
and they were like, oh yeah, this was a mistake. They were like, this was a mistake. It wasn't supposed to be in there. So it's not so much of something new. It's just something old coming back. You know. So are you trying to say this is okay now? Oh no, it was just a mistake.
Yeah. Glorious War says certain headdresses represent status and leadership, so some Native people feel a certain way. But again, did you hear any Native people complaining about this?
They didn't get that far.
That's fine. And if we want to go down the rabbit hole, that's fine. I understand. That's the same with like a lot of Polynesian people and tattoos. And I tattooed in Hawaii. There are Polynesian tattoos that you can give to anybody. There are ones that are reserved specifically for tribal ones. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure headdresses are at least along the same lines. Like as long as they're not, stating that this character has a position or authority that is
in a specific tribe, yeah,
or even then, like, can they, like, if they want to make it the story, the character's story that they're from this tribe and they held that position, like, unless it's in direct opposition to, the history of that character.
The fuck? It's a Smash Brothers game. No one's gonna get that deep into it. It's a Smash Brothers game.
That's like you're editing the Ice Climbers because they look like Eskimos.
Yeah, it's like, come on, it's a fucking Smash Brothers game.
Just call them Eskimos. Like, so I'd be like, okay, so go back into the backstory and be like, okay, before this person took a black void form, they were a Native American person. Representation, like, it's like. It's not necessarily a bad thing to represent culture and people. It's bad to do it in a caricature type way, like gross exaggeration. It's bad to make stereotypes and assumptions, but it's not necessarily bad to show a culture, especially when you're not blatantly showing somebody else appropriating somebody else's culture. And I don't think Mario wearing a sombrero is a big fucking deal either, but this is less of a big deal than that.
Yeah, it is. And by the way, to me, Mario is just going back to his roots. He's Mexican. I don't care what anybody says, man. He ain't Italian. Look at that mustache. Come on. I know my people. I mean, no, I'm Mexican, but I'm Hispanic. Like that guy, he's one of us, man. He's one of us. Mario looks like my dad. Come on, son. But yeah, no, this thing is like, this is a two-dimensional shadow. Come on, guys. You're carrying this way too far now, Like, I understand there's some sensitivity in that, but just because you're using the thing doesn't make it bad automatically. I don't understand. Again, the whole culture is just getting so sensitive now. It's very frustrating. It really hurts art. That's a whole other conversation, right? But again, I guess if you want to use that super move, get the Japanese version. But my question is, what is replacing that super move in the American version? Is it just a regular fireball without the headdress? Like, how does it?
The headdress.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. As long as the move is there, that's fine. I guess.
I also think, as I don't remember, I think it also has whiskey involved, and I think that's a bit of a stereotype.
Okay. If it's
okay.
I think as I remember, the move also involved like him drinking whiskey and
it's a little bit of the fire water.
Yeah.
Okay. That was entirely different.
Yeah, the headdress,
that's all different.
the headdress. I'm like, that's fine. But whiskey,
The character passing out after he throws a fireball. Come on.
I hope he doesn't have a casino either. It's like, oh boy, you gotta be careful
but
there.
Brett, if Mr. Game & Watch put on a derby and drank whiskey and threw the bottle, they wouldn't complain.
No, nobody cares about the Irish. They never have.
Yeah, no, but I can understand that the whiskey part, like, oh shit, yeah.
I think,
Chris, I literally mean that through all of recorded history.
Yeah, the Irish are too drunk to care. Yeah,
Right?
No, not the Irish. Nobody else cares about the Irish.
yeah, that is
They
true.
never have.
Yeah. Hey, Brett, I care about you, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate
that's why I'm bringing it up. I'm like, that's worse.
Hispanic and Irish, classically best of friends.
Yeah, because we're both drunk Catholic guys. It makes sense. We like to fight, we like to drink, and we like Jesus. There you go. Jesus, yeah, right there you go. Yeah, basically, yeah, they're kind of the same people.
And Irish people are all the cops, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys arrest us then.
They were the first gang.
I think the reason it's not offensive is because there's still a shitload of Irish people because we bred like fucking rabbits. And there's enough of them to sit around and be like, we really don't fucking care. Like it's different when there's
look at what St. Patrick's Day kind of turned into.
Oh God.
Nobody gives a shit. I mean, here's the thing. In Ireland, they don't give a shit about St. Patrick's Day. It's just but in America, it's like an excuse to get drunk, even if you're not Irish.
Dude, look at Notre Dame's mascot.
Yeah, look at that guy.
Ooh, okay, GZDR. He goes, would Kojima have to remove the Drebin character if MGS4 came out today, considering he had a pet monkey that drank grape soda and wore bling? Damn! That's a great fucking question. Dude, I think you're right. I think oh my God, the controversy, man. Think about that. Drebin, black guy with a monkey that drank grape soda. He drank purple drink, man. Think about that.
Purple drink.
Yeah, purple drank. Excuse me. I don't want that purple stuff.
Sugar water purple.
Sodap, what's going on, brother? He goes, science proves that there's no difference between people regarding race or sex. Liberal. I'm not gonna read all that. You're gonna get me in trouble, bro. You read it up on the screen. You already saw what he had to say. Yeah, damn, the Drebin thing. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, here's the odd thing, because when you're talking about race and sort of stuff like that, like, remember, like, Kojima was saying stuff about how race and blah 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 have factors and things. I did find it a little bit odd about him talking about racism, or a person from Japan talking about racism, when they've kind of don't really experience that sort of stuff. They kind of experience more of a classism than anything,
I mean,
it's not other races, but yeah,
It's always been, yeah.
and it's always been there. But I mean, I think it's definitely a different sort of thing. Racist stereotypes in Japan, American or Western stereotypes reaching over into Japan is absorbed way different than it is over here, because they don't have that over there.
No, I mean, it's one of the challenge we have from being a melting pot type country is we have so many people from so many different places that we're going to have more potential for racial strife. But that doesn't mean that
That's
we
the problem.
have to have it.
You just said it. Melting pot. This has always been the melting pot.
But
People seem to freak out when they see other people around them that are they're supposedly from here, and they're like, "No one's fucking from here."
Yeah, nobody is from here. If anything, the Native Americans should be like seeing these people fighting each other and be like, "Yo, how about this, motherfucker? Why don't you all get the fuck out? Why don't you all go back to whatever country you are from?"
But we're gonna keep your shit.
Well, keep all your shit, though.
Yeah. By the way, hey Brett, can you confirm this? Glorious War says you can't order an Irish car bomb in an Irish pub; you'll get knocked out. Is this true?
No,
Okay.
no, do not, no.
Who came up with the
do
name
that
of that shit? I'm offended for that. I'm not. Who said that was a good idea for the name of a drink?
That shit was not that long
Hey,
ago.
that's a delicious drink. I'm just saying. But okay, so yeah, you can't do that in an Irish bar. Gotcha. Just wanted to confirm that.
Don't do that in front of an Irish person, like an Ireland-born Irish person. they're generally not happy about that.
Yeah, for obvious reasons, you know. But yeah, I
Is that
don't
the
think.
same thing as the N word for us black people? Because it's starting to sound like it. Like, no,
Hmm.
don't do it in front of an Irish person because it's bad things will happen.
Yeah,
No,
pretty much. I mean, you gotta realize this is
linked to the
a-
religious war.
Yeah,
That's
it's a huge religious war between the Catholics and the Protestants.
Yeah.
Like, that makes it sound simple. I didn't learn about this until I was older. It basically the history of there was a country full of Catholics. Then the King of England decided to make the Church of England and said, "You all belong to the Church of England now." They said no, and he murdered them all. And that's pretty much the end of it. Drove them off their land.
That's it.
And the Protestants have constantly viewed it as, this is our land. This has always been our land. And they've been holding out against the Catholics or against the Protestants, who were essentially shipped there by the boatloads to supplement and replace the indigenous Catholic people. So you have one group who was sent there on a crusade handed out by the church to take what was theirs by God's right. And then you have another group of people who failed to recognize the power of that church and have always lived there. So, and that shit was still going on until recently. Like, there are still people alive that remember the Protestants, the Catholics fighting. So you can't do that. That's like going into Palestine and making an Israel-Palestine joke.
The same happened in Norway.
Israel.
They killed them all, which is why we have Norwegian black metal. You know.
Yeah, well,
Pissed
yeah,
off.
because I mean, not to get down a rabbit hole, but basically, because Norwegian black metal at first they were like, okay, we're gonna be anti-Christian, so they did a bunch of satanic shit, you know. Then they were like, wait a minute, us acknowledging Satanism is still Christianity, so we're gonna talk about Viking shit now, you know, because that was really anti-Christian. Glorious War says, don't talk about Northern Ireland. Why not? Brett could talk about it.
Yeah, dude, that's my people.
See, there you go. It's
Motherfucker,
crazy.
I'm one of the 12 tribes of Galway. I can talk about that shit all I want. Instead from Nile of the Nine Kings or the Nine Hostages. So there.
So you come to Throwdown, you get taught some stuff, man. But yeah,
I can talk about that. You can't talk about that.
yeah, I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want. That's the great thing about being fucking Dominican. I'm a mutt. I could talk about everything I want. You know, I probably got some Irish in me. I got everything in me. You know,
Most Hispanic people are that way.
Yeah.
We're the mutts. We're the future. That's what
Yeah.
people need to understand.
hey, that's why that's why I enjoyed punching that racist guy in Red Dead Redemption. He was like, "Oh, people shouldn't mix." I'm like, "Bitch, I am mixed." Pop. You know.
Like from the Caribbean, not South America.
Hold on. Glorious War says it's a bit more complex than that, Brett. It's just not about Henry VIII.
No, it's incredibly more complex than that, but it's just not the time or the place on a podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's
Yeah,
something-
we'd be on a different podcast if we're talking about that one now.
Yeah. Hopefully, like I'm just barely grazing the surface. I realize I'm grossly oversimplifying. We just barely touched on the topic. Hopefully, I've just given you enough information to pique your interest, and you can do some research of your own, form your own opinion, because that's the best way to educate yourself.
Yeah, because we're not going to talk about all that in a fucking video game podcast.
But yeah, no, in no way am I claiming to be an accurate history buff or be giving you the full story. It's much more nuanced than that, and it's an entire country's fucking history. So that's like basically saying like, America was founded by people who didn't like paying taxes and were running away from religious persecution because England wasn't pure enough for them.
Yeah, because I mean, technically that's correct, but it's more complex than that, you know?
Yeah, there's some other subtle socioeconomic factors you should really take into account.
Yeah, he says don't talk about Northern Ireland in Ireland. Is that true?
Not that I know of. It really, I mean, you don't talk about. I mean, it's bad blood.
You
and
don't bring
it's
up
not all
any of
that
that
old.
stuff. You just don't.
Yeah,
wanna
you just
bring
don't really
it back.
talk about that shit all
There's
the
always
time.
somebody that's listening who's got a view that's different from whatever you're saying, and it brings up, everyone from what I remember. I've seen documentaries. It's like, almost everyone has lost somebody in this constant religious war. They know somebody or someone in their family has died, and that's where the whole Irish car bomb comes in. There's a lot of fighting back and forth. There was only one show that I know of in the U.S. actually pointed to any of that or put a spotlight on what was going on, and that was Sons of Anarchy. If you ever watched Sons of Anarchy, they actually spent the whole season where they went to Ireland and they got into and they showed that war. It's like the Sons took a side, and you see a lot of that happening there. And they
Did they ship their bikes over there or something?
because they had a chapter that was over there because that's where they were.
Okay, I got you.
Selling guns and stuff for that purpose, for their fight. So they went out there to go seal a different deal and then to meet with that chapter because they said they had some other people coming in on their turf and they needed some backup. And they literally spent the whole season in Ireland fighting and doing the whole thing. So they really point out the feuds between the two sides and what was going on.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I missed that show.
It's it is an interesting read if you decide to get into it. And like I've said, like not many people actually. Like it's like this big fucking religious war that's been going on for fucking ever, and nobody really talked. Like a lot of people don't know anything about it. They're just like, why is there Northern and Southern Ireland? Like, it's a big thing.
Yeah, all right. I'm not gonna read this comic because we're getting deep down the rabbit hole. That's a whole other podcast. He didn't say anything offensive. It's just I don't want to go further down that rabbit hole. You know. All right. Anybody else want to throw in anything extra before we leave? Riku, you got anything you want to add in? Random stuff?
JoJo's tomorrow, baby.
There you go, man.
Get on that JoJo's.
Yeah, if Carlos was here, he'd be getting hype with you right now.
He'd be like, dude.
He's still on that damn honeymoon. Shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Carlos will be back, I believe, on the next Throwdown 210. I don't think he's coming because I know he's leaving on Sunday, but he obviously won't be here for the Sunday show. You know. Yeah, Carlos will be back, man. Carlos is going to be coming back. What happened? Activision, what now?
They announced underperforming sales for Destiny.
Yeah, no shit.
No. You know what I mean? It's like,
really?
Yeah.
You know what happened? People like, yeah, go ahead, Brian.
I'm not surprised. I mean, they gave it away free on PS Plus. They gave it away free on PC. I'm not surprised that's underperforming.
People probably like, hey, I'm going to play Fortnite instead.
And other stuff. That's why they're giving it away for free because they're hoping everybody goes and buys the DLC and all the other jazz that they have on it. People just aren't doing it.
Well, I mean, isn't friggin' Bungie just want to get out of all that too? Didn't they want to sell? Don't they want to sell Activision?
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, they want to sell. They want to sell Activision the rights to Destiny.
I'm not going to confirm any of that.
I thought they had the rights.
I'm not going to confirm any of that. I never heard that until literally right now.
I think I heard there was a rumor about it where they to get out of this whole thing, and part of their bargaining posture is to sell the full rights to Destiny to Activision.
Your bargaining posture is highly dubious. I can't confirm that, but that'd be interesting. You know, we'll see. All right. Anybody else?
That'd be really funny because I can imagine just Microsoft just now like, so you left us because you making the same game and you didn't like it, and then you went to Activision and you forced to make the same game and you didn't like it. Like, well,
there you go.
Yeah,
we got a new bait now. It's 343. So
and you know what? And Sony and Microsoft let them go. Remember, they sold them back their stock. They're like, yo, here, take it. You want out? You think you can do better out there? That's it.
We got this thing. It's called Destiny.
That's funny,
man. We don't want to just make Halo games.
Please.
And then they made a Halo game.
It did.
Oh well, you know, people rather go play Fortnite, I guess.
I'm curious if the new one, the new Halo, is going to be more Destiny-like. It looked that way, you know, with
Halo 6
world and all that.
Probably.
You mean Anthem?
Right?
Anthem.
What the Iron Man game Anthem? I'm passing on that shit. Fucking.
You know, I'm actually somewhat. I think I'm with Brian on this, where I'm like, I'm not a hard no. I'm potentially curious about it. It's a big multiplayer game with mechs. How can you hate it that much?
That's what people said about Destiny.
Actually, that's what they said about Titanfall. Look what happened there.
Well,
you know?
Titanfall was real mechs. These are these javelin suits. I'm telling you, look like Iron Man suits. You're flying around. It's like Iron Man suits.
Yeah, I don't know about that game.
There was actually a big discussion that I had like years ago, where we actually arguing what's the difference between power armor and a mech suit.
The size.
The size. It's all about the size.
Yeah,
the mech
the size.
suit, it's a huge ass robot you're jumping out of. The javelin suit that they show, it's just a
armor,
suit.
right?
Armor is basically armor. Like, you know, it's supposed to fit you. You know, the human frame. You know,
it's like the suit that you get in Fallout. That power suit that you get in Fallout.
Brian, think about
It's
a
way
kni-
bigger
think,
than
thi-
that.
yeah. Brian, think about a knight's armor and just power it up. There you go. That's a power suit.
Dude, the javelins are like the people sit almost exclusively in the chest cavity of the javelins, don't they?
That if that's the case, that's a mech. That's a
No,
mech. There.
No, it
No.
didn't
Oh,
look
they
like
get
that.
in it
No.
like an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they show the guy getting in, and it's like a whole suit, and just closes up on him, and then he flies away like Iron Man.
Yeah, Titanfall's a mech.
That's a mech. Yeah.
Technically, you could- yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that
but there are some mechs like the pad labors are, they're not that fucking big, for example, and the Vodums, they're not that big either, but I think it's like generally 15 feet. If it's 15 feet big, then it's a mech,
Yeah, I think that there's power suits, and there's power armor, next bigger size, and then there's mechs. Like I think Iron Man is a power suit. Hulkbuster is power armor.
Yeah, because I mean it's bigger than a normal human, but it's not like stupidly big like a mech,
I gathered that the javelins are about are a little bit bigger than the Hulkbuster armor.
I don't know. I really don't care either way, to be honest.
That's
Like when you play
another whole
Titanfall
other
2
rabbit hole.
and you eject yourself out, you look tiny compared to your mech. And
Oh,
you
no,
jump
that's
into
what no
it.
one's arguing about. What the Titanfall thing? Those are fucking mechs. No one's arguing that.
Mecha Shiva.
BT.
Man. All right, people. So thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our host, Tony Polanco, joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sorry about being late, guys. Thank you for showing up.
Chris Seeley,
Hey, take care, everyone.
Brett Murdoch,
It's been real.
Adam Vale,
Have fun playing all your video games this weekend, people.
Brian Manjoma,
To Americans, it was St. Patty's Day. To us Brits, it was Tuesday.
and Riku-san, one, the only one.
Later, people. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, peace out, people. Watch that JoJo's tomorrow, man. Get on these Neon Falcon games and keep on gaming.
There you go. All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday, man. Later. Actually, hold up. I have an announcement to make.
What was this?
Carlos got married.
Yeah. Again, yeah. No, actually, no. I don't have an announcement to make. Chris has an announcement to make. What you streaming, man?
Oh, so Saturday I'm gonna stream part 2 of Rondo of Blood, the Revenge. This time, Death's going down, and we're going all the way to Dracula.
There
So
you
join
go.
me on Saturday.
Oh, we should do that Saturday. All right, so I'm gonna make an announcement now. I have an announcement to make. Since Friday is open, I'm gonna stream. Yeah, I'm gonna stream Battlefield 5 for you guys. How about that?
Whoa.
Dun, dun,
Oh, that's
dun.
gonna be fun.
Shooter man?
Yeah, shooter man. I could actually. I have a few choices. I'm gonna stream that, but I could also stream some Hitman for you. Hitman 2.
I would say Hitman. But,
Yeah, I would say stream
I'm a bit
Hitman,
biased.
Yeah. See, it's the thing because I'm thinking Battlefield 5 because it's more actiony. Because Hitman, that's a slow burn type of game.
But would you be playing the campaign, the stories?
Yes,
And
I have the full game.
So
I have.
that would be kind of spoilerish.
What are you gonna do? Actually, what do you think? Yes, you know what? I'll leave it up to you guys. Vote.
You know what? Here's the thing.
Hitman, or Battlefield. What should I
Here's
play?
the thing. So we're actually on Twitter since we thought of this right now on Twitter. Go to our Twitter, right after the show and vote for Tony's stream.
I'm gonna do that shit right now. Yeah.
And it's going to be either Hitman or Battlefield.
Yeah, there you go. I'll let
And
you
you
guys
vote on
decide.
that, and you get to see which one.
Are they really calling Hitman this new one Hitman 2?
Yes.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitman
They already
2.
have a Hitman 2.
Well, they got the new Hitman 2. The
It's
hot
called
list.
Hitman 2. Well, if you want to make the differentiation, Hitman 2 2018.
Because remember,
Welcome.
eventually they got rid of it and they started calling them names like Blood Money and stuff like that.
Welcome
numbers
to
don't
modern.
matter anymore.
Yeah, welcome to like modern day naming. They just don't
Shit,
give a damn
the
anymore.
worst.
They
They
don't
all
give a
follow
fuck.
Come on, we
Apple
just
with the
played a
damn
game called
Apple.
God of War, which is essentially God of 4.
They now have say like God of War PS3 or God of
2018.
War PS2 or God of War PS4. They now have say which platform, which is even worse when it comes to PS5. Because it's like, yeah, God of War PS4 on PS5. It's like,
Who called it God of War? I call it God of War 2018.
But it is called God of War. It says it right there on the box. God of War. It doesn't say 2018
Same thing with
on
Tomb
the
Raider.
box.
Like
exactly.
Tomb Raider reboot, not Tomb Raider. They had that. Name convention is stupid, man.
But they do that with movies too, though. It's not just video games.
Yeah,
you know?
like how they just released a new Halloween movie, which is essentially a sequel to the original Halloween, but they called it Halloween. Why didn't they just call it Michael Myers or Laurie Strode?
All right, I put the tweet out. So yeah, I'll let you guys decide. What do you want me to play, Battlefield 5 or Hitman 2? Choice is up to you. My reviews for those will be up next week, by the way. It's kind of interesting. Like, I had nothing to do, and all of a sudden I have literally 5 fucking games to review. One of them is the now controversial The Quiet Man.
Ooh, I have not heard good things.
That's the FMV one, right?
No, it's not.
No,
It's not.
it has cutscenes. It has live action.
Yeah, it's live action. Yeah, it's controversial because it's a quote unquote PlayStation exclusive that has a 34 Metacritic. So the fanboys were going, like, look at this game. This is a trash game. This is what Sony provides, even though it's a third party game.
It's a third party game, and to be honest, like, what do you expect? It's like a beat 'em up, like Final Fight. What do you expect?
Oh, that's the one that they're calling that game that you like. Was it Bounty Bunner?
Yeah, they call it Modern the Bouncer. Yeah, that's
Bouncer. Yeah.
So yeah,
I bought the damn game. I can't wait to play the damn thing.
So yeah, I got a couple. So that's what's going on for me. I don't really do this too often, but I'm gonna be.
He's deaf.
He's deaf. Yeah. Battlefield 5, Hitman 2, the new world, the updated world of Final Fantasy, The Quiet Man, and the fucking FPS of the Walking Dead game. So I got some shit for you guys.
That one's not getting good reviews at all.
Yeah, I played it
on PC though.
Yeah, hey, your boy's playing on PC. By the way, does this make me like anti-Xbox? I was offered an Xbox code for Battlefield 5. I'm like, give me that shit on PC instead, because they didn't have the PS.
Anti-Xbox. Yeah, why would you do that?
Because my Xbox isn't even hooked up.
You like the controller though, and then we could play, and then we could sing songs and stuff.
What are you talking about? I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play the campaigns and never touch that game again. You know how that goes, man.
Man, you got to get yourself the X, man. You got to get in the next level.
Yeah,
especially since the computer's making weird noises now.
By the way, people, I'm changing my mind. I'm not gonna sell my Xbox One after all.
What you do? What happened?
Nothing. I'm just gonna keep it around, mostly to keep torrents off my back.
Why? Well, no, just tell get rid of it and tell them you're going to buy a Xbox One X eventually.
No, because I realized that what if something happens where I get a review code and the only one they have available is for Xbox One? You know what I'm saying?
I thought you was going to sell it because you wanted to get the X. I didn't.
No, fuck that. I don't need that shit.
Your job. You can't do that.
What are you talking about? I have a PC. No, I don't. I have a PC.
Yeah. So what? But if it's an Xbox exclusive,
but Adam, you're proving my point. What if it's an Xbox exclusive? I need an Xbox here, so there you go. I gotta keep the Xbox. So yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, there you go. But I don't need. If I want to play, like an enhanced game, I got the PC for that. It kills the X. My PC destroys the fucking X. Anyway, so yeah, Friday night I'll be streaming whatever you guys decided. And Saturday night, Chris will be streaming some more Castlevanias. We're gonna take those motherfuckers down, right, Chris?
That's right. Dracula's going down.
Yeah, and then Sunday we got the regular show, and then Tuesday I'll stream something, and then Wednesday Manny's going to do some more drawings. By the way, Manny, shout out to the John Marston one. That was good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, we did. It was this one. This version of Throwdown Draws was a impromptu drawing of. I just picked something at random, and I figured since everybody's talking about Red Dead, you know what? I will draw John Marston.
There you go. And in the future, I'm just going to plug it now, even though we don't know what's going to happen. When Riku starts playing a game he actually really does like, he will be back too,
Yes, I will.
All right, guys. We'll see you, man, later.
Oh, wait.
Man, I'm trying to end the fucking show.
Like, one more thing.
I just saw this. Night Trap is coming to Switch too, see?
Yeah.
I thought it was already out.
Yeah, well, no. It came out already on... it already came out on everything else. Actually, no, Night Trap is already on Switch.
It is on Switch.
But you are probably talking about the limited run game's physical release.
Very nice. Yeah, that's right. Spider-Man DLC 2's coming. I'll probably be reviewing that too, man. So shit's coming, man. Good stuff. All right, guys. Later.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Deuces.